Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2020.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I've been busy.
And yeah, we've all been a bit busy. But this is our first video and our kind of our first new program. This is what we're referring to. Might change in the future. The Chaos Theory Presents Mind Game podcast.
Yeah.
So in this podcast, we are just we come in semi-planned. We have some ideas to talk about, but it's free reign. We're just going to talk about whatever as it goes.
Each one should be themed a little bit.
It'll
be urban variation, obviously, but yeah.
So it's just kind of some boys having a chat.
Three white boys in our early 20s, so naturally had to make a podcast.
Yeah, of course. Everyone has to.
It's a natural progression. So here we are.
So very quickly, how's 2020 been?
Very busy.
Very busy. Yeah.
Had quite a lot of work, school holidays, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Started up some shows, some auditions.
Big promotion at work. I'm now on the big 30-ish plus an hour.
Not bad.
Yeah, so things have changed. There hasn't been much gaming-wise for anyone here.
Not really. It's been pretty casual.
I think Animal Crossing just came out and Doom.
No, they come out in 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay, I'm wrong. So not much.
I had Yakuza 5 come out about a week ago.
Yeah.
A month ago now, almost.
At this point.
It's very good. I like it.
So not too much happening yet. As we go on later in the year, we'll probably be talking about the big games. Your E3s.
I'm losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
The next 3 months.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit coming out.
Yeah.
What we're here to talk about today, though, is for the plan of our very first podcast.
Yep.
Is we're gonna list off our 5 favorite series of all time, gaming wise, and we're also gonna be talking about we're listing off a few that we don't like.
Or just couldn't get into.
Yeah, couldn't get into. Not that we hate. Some of them we might hate.
Yeah.
One of them I hate.
But some are just ones that we've tried and we just couldn't. It just something about it we just couldn't get into. Maybe it was too late. Maybe game mechanics, all that sort of stuff.
Some might not be bad games, it's not our taste. Some might be garbage games.
So this is just our opinion, and if you disagree with it,
you're wrong.
But we're just here to talk about our opinion, what we view, and so you can get to know us a bit more, and then you can leave what your favorites are in the comments as well.
Very true.
Yeah. So 5 games that we love, or franchises that we love, 3 that we couldn't get into,
and we're gonna go down. So we'll do 5, 5, 5.
Yeah.
4, 4, 4, and then we're gonna go third one we
hate.
Bad.
Yep.
And then good, bad, good.
Yeah, like
just alternate, and then finish up on a goodie.
Yeah.
All right.
One of the games that didn't make my list that was there just before when we were doing this, but then I kind of stopped, was sadly Mass Effect.
That was good. Yeah.
I really enjoyed Mass Effect. A bit late, so I'd never really played 1 because the mechanics do not hold up. Gave me serious motion sickness.
Oh, no.
But 2 is one of the best games of all time. Good character development, good storyline. That final mission titled The Suicide Mission.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
It's brilliant and takes a lot of work to do. 3 was good in my eyes because I didn't play it when it first came out. There was big controversy when it came out. The biggest thing besides 1 is Andromeda.
Yeah, Andromeda I was about to say that.
And it looked good. It played well. It was still a Mass Effect game, but there were so many major issues and it was lackluster.
Yeah, that is exactly what I heard. There was it was good, but it was.
And that's one of those things where they're like, "Oh, I fixed it," but I'm like,
"Did you though?"
I bought it for $4 in store.
Yeah,
at EB.
I pre-ordered that. I was very sad about that. And my other one that didn't make the list, sadly, and it is one of my favorite games of all time, Red Dead Redemption. There only being 2. A lot of the games that I have in my list are longer, bigger series.
Yeah.
And as much as I love it, I just think as a series, it's not up there. As individual games, they both are great.
Yeah, that's true.
But as a franchise, as a series, it's a bit too small compared to some of the ones that we'll probably be listing off today.
That's true. Plus, you've got the whole 10 years before release, roughly. I mean, not 10 years, but 8 years, 7 years between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a lot of the games I feel like we'll be talking about today went, game 2-3 years, game 2 years, all that stuff.
And then things like Super Mario and stuff like that. They're just too big, but too broad in my opinion. And I love them, but I would never go up there and go, they're my favorite game
very
of
true.
all time.
They're solid.
They're solid. They're good.
But they're not
those are my honorable mentions. I feel like.
What's yours?
I had 3 that didn't make the cut. The biggest one was Assassin's Creed, which came very close, but I haven't played enough of the games, the later games that came out in PS4 to make an adjustment. Because I played 1 through up to Black Flags, and then missed Syndicate and a few others, and then got back into it at Odyssey.
That's one that
Which was
almost made it on
amazing.
my 3 I couldn't play.
Really?
Yeah, I just
Man.
couldn't with Creed.
Oof.
I tried my hardest. I liked 1. But
Ye-
then... And Black Flag, yeah. But
Yeah.
I just couldn't. with
The
11.
Ezio trilogy is what had me almost putting it in, because they're such... I love those
Yeah,
games.
I
And
agree
the
with
Black
that.
Flag was really on point. Odyssey was and Origins were different approaches to the series, which I loved. And it was... the RPG approach, I think, worked pretty well for Odyssey, but it's such a big game. But yeah, it just didn't quite make it to my top favorites. The other ones, I won't get into them too much. Okami and Okami Den. I love those ones, but there's only 2 in the series that I played. And then there's like some spin-offs.
don't
and
even
other
Is that the
ones.
wolf one?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Yeah, I don't even know
Yeah.
what that one is, so...
It's like an old PS2, PS3 game.
Yeah.
And it's like you're a wolf.
Mhm.
Classic.
And I don't know
And then
much
one
else about it all.
Yeah.
Okami Den, you play as Amaterasu, who's like the offspring of the big dog, and then it's fucking adorable, actually. Yeah, god damn it. But yeah, great games, really good job. I love the art style. It's very like proper like painting art style in the game throughout the entire thing. It's really
Fair enough.
beautiful, but yeah, it just didn't quite make it.
What about the third?
The third one was actually the Yoshi series.
God damn it.
Listen, hear me out though. They're adorable games. The gameplay is phenomenal. The soundtracks are actually really good, and it's just fun. But like, and it has a pretty well-lasting series of like
Fair
games
enough.
actually from Yoshi's
Yeah.
Island,
Yeah,
Yoshi's
they've got
Story.
like quite a
I think
few.
I never
Like
played the one on DS.
I like quite a few solid games actually.
Yeah.
I don't-
Woolly World on Wii U was a very underrated game for a very lackluster console, and then Crafted World was actually really innovative in its gameplay style.
I know
It
a
was really
lot of
fun.
people like Crafted World.
Fair enough.
It's an underrated gem on the Switch. I would recommend it actually.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it didn't quite make the cut for mine
That's
at least.
fair enough. I agree with you. Like honorable mention for Assassin's Creed, but early Assassin's Creed, like
Like Ezio trilogy.
Ezio trilogy
around
was
I
insanely
never
fun.
even touched 2. I don't know why. I never
Two
touched
was
2.
good.
Might,
That-
two
that's
might
like-
be my favorite
That's
apart
like
from Black
peak.
Flag.
That's like peak
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Black Flag though, I
Oh,
hated with
it's-
a passion.
Really?
Okay.
I hated it. I couldn't get through the
I don't
whole
think I've ever
like,
heard someone say that.
story wise. I liked it.
Mhm.
It's not like the story. It was like the story was fine. All that. I hated the ship mechanisms.
They're
Okay.
pretty broken at times.
That is what me. That's what made me hate it as much as I do.
That's what me hated about it. He's turned into a pirate.
Yeah. No,
I've never heard, because Black Flag was one I enjoyed but never finished, but I've never heard
Yeah.
anyone outright say they didn't like it.
I liked it. It was just the ship part, and because it was pretty centered around the ship.
I wonder,
Considering you're a pirate.
on that
That's-
point,
strong
you
theme.
played Odyssey. Didn't they have ship
It
mechanics
was
in it?
much better work
Okay.
than Odyssey.
Okay,
fair
yeah.
enough.
Interesting.
They
Fair
were
enough.
more like, it was more long range ship fights. You board the ship, you take it over. That's kind of it. And it
Uh,
was more just to get from place to place and make it
Fair.
interesting instead of just long traveling for nothing to do.
Yeah, that was like my big
Whaling.
problem with Black Flag. I just didn't like the ship. I got like I don't know, maybe a quarter of the way through it. Half the time I was on the ship. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
if I wanted to be a pirate, I could just go be a pirate. Actually, I couldn't be a pirate. That'd be like too tough.
Yeah.
But like,
But yeah,
I don't know.
that's fair.
Yeah.
And then my other honorable mention is just like a really like small Japanese game that I really like. It's like a Ace Attorney sort of spin-offy game made by the same people who make like Fire Pro Wrestling World and a few others. It's titled Danganronpa. I've told you
You
about
told
it.
me a bit about it.
Haven't
yeah.
told you about it.
No.
Essentially what it is, it's like a visual novel puzzle sort of game,
Okay.
similar to Ace Attorney.
Very dark themes.
Very,
in this one.
very dark themes. I love it though.
Mhm.
It's pretty much, you got these group of people trapped inside some place, wherever it may be.
It could be
And
like a school or
yeah, a school. Like I think one of them takes place on a beach. It's so funny.
anime.
Pretty much.
There's always a
pretty
beach
much-
Or the
episode.
beach episode.
Except this is a beach game. And essentially, it's like some like sort of like murder mystery in a way.
Mhm.
Someone dies, you have to figure out who did it. Then, if you find out the person who did it, they get killed.
Okay.
Destroyed.
And like
Okay.
strong characters,
Salt.
very very strong characters.
Alright.
I shared a birthday with one, so like they instantly became the best character.
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Like logic.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
solid game in general.
Well, also Siege.
Siege.
We
Siege.
Siege. Siege is an honorable mention, but it being multiplayer, only one game, it didn't make sense to make the cut.
No,
But
that's
we love Siege.
Siege is good.
Siege is great.
Should we go to 5?
Yeah,
Five.
let's go for our 5.
Let's see what's up.
My-
I know what's up.
My 5 is something I've spoken about a lot, and I think I've spoken about in videos before. and it's a smaller company that sadly last year had its last dying breath in a way, which is Telltale. So I am a massive fan and loved so much the Telltale Walking Dead series. Because I love the show, I love the comics of The Walking Dead, but the game is the high point in the Walking Dead franchise for me.
Fair enough.
And I'm going through season 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your mini series, your mini episodes as well.
Yeah.
One of the only games ever to make me cry. Everyone was playing Last of Us at the time, and I'm like, oh, it's so sad.
Yeah, you have told me about this.
I'm sitting there doing what needs to be done in that game, where you're looking after a much younger character than Ellie in Ellie.
Ellie's like
Ellie.
13.
You're looking after, I believe she's 7 or 8, Clementine. For in this position. Then as you go throughout the series, you then start playing as her, and she grows up until the final series where she's like 16 or something.
Fair enough.
And it's just such a really a lot of people hate it because it's episodic.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it at times, because Telltale was such a smaller company when it started, and Walking Dead was their first big game. They had Jurassic Park and Back to the Future, which were both god-awful games before that.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why.
Much like Ark Survival.
Yeah, they did this. They were
Jack.
they were given leeway by Robert Kirkman to use the comic book world, but not to
okay.
interfere with too many characters. So in the first season, you get Glenn and Herschel make appearances, and I think in season 3 you get Jesus. Context-wise, it's a character called Jesus in The Walking Dead. His name's Paul in real life, but he looks like Jesus. And that's about the extent that it actually interferes with the main storyline. But it's just such a really good story. All the characters are believable, and it was one of those games that really perfected and kind of made the running more for pick your own adventure stuff for
Fair
main
enough.
consoles. You had things on PC that had that, but this was the first
fair enough.
big big name.
Start in 360? Was that when it started?
Probably.
Yes, the first one was 360, but it's on everything. You can get it on mobile now.
Yeah,
It's on
it's
PC. Everything's been ported. It's gone around everywhere, and it then brought life to the Game of Thrones, Borderlands, Wolf Among Us, which is another really big fan favorite one, which I think we're about to get season 2 of. It's one of the few that the 20 people left at Telltale are still working on, which sucks that it happened to the company, but it's also that thing of thanks, Bird. A lot of people sat there and went, this company needs to do something. They need to change their engine, and
That's fair enough.
instead of changing their engine, they laid off a lot of time.
Actually, with what you just said, reminds me of a couple honourable mentions to me as well. I completely forgot about.
Yeah?
I'll make them super quick. Wolfenstein and Doom.
Yes.
I've played a lot of both of those games. They did
They would.
Old school Doom. I have some good memories of old school Doom.
old school Doom, old school Wolfenstein with with Mecha Hitler in the
Yes,
second
Mecha
one.
Hitler, yeah.
That's so stupid, but I love it. But when I reveal my top five, it'll make sense as why they were not there.
Oh,
I'm sure we're always going to pop up with more things that we
Bioshock didn't make mine,
Oh, right,
I don't think Bioshock was in the conversation for me.
Ooh, it was for 2 of the games. I didn't like 2 as much, but 1 and Infinite was
2 was
wonderful
bad,
to me.
but 2 had one of these things that I've heard people do. I never played it at the time.
Oh,
2
the DLC
had
thing.
this really good DLC that's been brought up, but you cannot purchase anywhere.
Anywhere,
It doesn't
yep.
exist, and everyone was like, "That's what made 2 good, was that DLC because it fixed a ton of problems."
Fair enough.
Made it, and then they just discontinued it. And were like, "Yeah, you can't buy this anymore."
You can't use it now.
Yeah, I don't know. Bioshock's has been a game that I've played, and I've always been like, "Yeah, I'm enjoying it," but I've never been like, "This is the best."
I loved Infinite, but
Infinite was fun.
I didn't love. I loved it, but not enough to make it franchise worthy in my list.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I thought that Walking Dead would be higher on your list. I really
No,
did.
my only reason why it's not is just because of the issues that it did face and how long it went. And in gameplay wise, it is very much just sit and select things. There's a few move the mouse around and shoot. It's more of a core story game. You sit there
I
to
get
watch
that.
it. I have played it the first season something 14 times or something. But it is something that I did enjoy. But just in terms of the other games on the list, I don't think they've reached the enjoyment. They reached me more in a way like an interactive TV show does,
I get that.
Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Oh yeah, I get that.
That was that whole premise. Pick it. I enjoy that sort of
Pick and
thing.
choose your own end.
And it's the characters that I loved most about. The gameplay was choppy. There was glitches and stuff like that because it was a company that was against so much deadline and so much weird stuff. But the characters are what sold me, and the world.
So, do you want to do your 5 or do you want me to do my 5?
I can go if you want.
Yeah, we'll just keep it in a...
Easy.
Okay, off you go.
In a. All right. Uncharted for men.
Oh!
Made my number 5. Yep.
Forgot about Uncharted.
Oh, you did?
I've played
It would have made honourable mention.
15 minutes of one. I was on a boat. There was no submarine.
It's the
You're on
worst
a
game
boat.
in the series.
Yep.
And it's still a great game.
Yeah.
Alright,
I'll get around
continue.
it.
Continue.
Oh man, Uncharted. What can? Far out. Naughty Dog smashed it down in the park.
They
The
did.
Uncharted series.
They did.
Just like the gameplay alone is so much fun. You go from like parkour, like freaking
Climbing the train.
Yes.
Oh,
The best way to start off Uncharted 2. Oh my god, play Uncharted 2,
Yeah,
damn it, guys.
just play Uncharted.
play Uncharted. But yeah, no, like, oh man, and like the characters are actually enjoyable and
Yeah.
like relatable in points. Like Nate, I'll be like, holy shit, when a bomb flies over your head, and Nate goes, holy shit. It's like, yes,
Yeah.
we would
Yeah.
say that.
yeah.
And Nate gets it, and then he's a freak of nature. We don't relate to him at all
Yeah.
when he's jumping off of trees into ships, and then he's climbing.
Except for that bit, like when we our playthrough of Uncharted, our first 5 minutes where I shot Elena in the head.
Yeah. There was one point where I'm trying to shoot, and Sully literally walks in front of my scope, and it's just his dumb face taking up the entire screen. It's like, mate, I'm gonna get sniped if you don't fucking move.
Yep,
Oh.
I completely understand it being on the list.
How,
But yeah.
how does it feel having it be the third best Naughty Dog series? Behind Last of Us and definitely behind Crash Bandicoot.
Of course.
Because Crash
I-
Bandicoot's the
those-
best Naughty Dog game
those-
ever.
Well, I'd say Uncharted is currently above Last of Us because there's only one.
Yeah, only
One
one.
game in the series so
Two,
far.
and
Yeah.
I like I keep saying this as a joke, and people are getting really shitty with me about it. I didn't have a PlayStation when Last of Us came out,
Yep.
so a little bit of me was like, "Fuck, it'd be funny if it's really bad."
Because
like
it's
if it's
all
just,
everyone talked
or
about.
everyone's like, "You should go PS4 to play Last of Us." I'm like, sure. Like, but like I said, I was playing Walking Dead. I was fine. I had my
Yeah, that's right.
My
Yeah, you're
substitute
Your
right.
zombie fix was there.
But then my arsehole brain's like, it'd be pretty funny if it sucks.
I
Damn it.
completely understand.
Or like,
a little
5
bit,
minutes
but
in
no.
and Joel just gets shot in the head and
Oh,
I'd be like, eh.
that's a,
Yeah,
that's a
so-
I was like,
possibility.
I'm an arsehole.
Fair enough.
But no, yes, I played 5 minutes. I see me play it.
I will say
It's a
that
game I'm
Uncharted-
attempting to get into.
Uncharted 4 features Crash Bandicoot.
I know, yes, I have seen
that.
So
Because that in a way is like how they like teased the Crash Bandicoot remake, because they had the remake of the first
Yeah.
one.
man.
Yeah.
I would put Uncharted 4 above Last of Us in terms of my personal favorite.
I would
games.
say
Fair enough, fair enough.
I'd say if we're talking individual games, Last of Us would be up there, probably in par with a few of the Uncharted, but
Yeah.
in serious wise, yes, like we were talking before. There's
Well, I'm sure
one.
we'll get to like single game.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely,
At
that'll be
some
something we
point.
can't
But I think what put me in the list of it with Uncharted 2 is such a damn rush from start to finish.
Yeah.
You,
It's
like,
real good.
in Uncharted 1, you have your lull moments where you do some of the puzzles and it's fine, but in Uncharted 2, apart
the
from
entirety of the first level.
it's just,
I was just,
yeah,
hey, I'm old and can't climb this. Do it for me.
do it. Oh, Sully.
Pretty much.
Blows
yeah.
something up and
Yeah.
it just appears in the room like, oh, light the string for you.
But yeah, Uncharted 2, without spoilers, but yeah, just start to finish, it's just a rush of
Oh, okay.
insanity.
I like
And now
it.
Tom
doesn't let
Holland's
up,
playing
and
him.
I love it.
In a live action version, for some reason. Rumored.
Playing Nate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been
He's a
done-
bit young for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. It should have been done 10 years ago and it should have been Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, I love Tom Holland's great, but
It's
weird
like baby
casting.
Nathan Drake.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, Uncharted. I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
definitely.
It is one I'm attempting to play. I downloaded it, so it's good there.
Good.
Worth it voluntarily.
I guess that moves on to my number 5. The Yakuza series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
To have this at 5, kinda
What's it say about
says
the rest of your lineup?
says a lot about the rest of my lineup.
Mhm.
There are 7 games now. The last one was released in January, but hasn't made a worldwide release. Main character is Kiryu. He's absolute freak.
Just straight up.
Like, the two main characters they have, Kiryu and Majima, they work so well together, yet they barely feature together.
Okay.
Combat can be a little bit dry, but the story, the sub-stories, the random events you encounter, like in Zero, you get 3 strikes in bowling, and this guy goes, like the whole thing was like, if you get 3 strikes, which is a turkey, you get a surprise. And you get 3 strikes, and this guy goes, yeah, I never thought anyone would do it, so have this chicken.
Damn it.
I like it. I like it.
And so it's like, oh, chicken, I'll call you Nugget.
You've made that joke several times when you've played games.
Yes.
It all makes sense.
And then there's this other part in too. The weirdest thing. I'll show you guys once we've all finished this.
Please.
But there's this sub-story, and you save this guy from something. I don't remember the specific details of all of it. And he's like, oh, no, I'll repay you. Come to this place. You walk in, and this woman gives you, like, baby attire. So, like, a one-piece, like, the nappy, the, like, little bonnet head.
Okay.
And you're like, no, stop. You, like, knock over a wall, and there's 5 or 6 of them, like, adult men. in like nappies and stuff, acting like babies, and you're like,
Japan.
this is weird, man.
Got nothing.
Like, no disrespect. This is weird.
This is
It's not
weird.
my thing. Enjoy it all you want. And he's like, oh, well then. And then you fight him.
Man, I
I'll
love
show you-
Japanese culture so much.
I'll show you the
'cause-
clip later. It's so good. But it's like, just like great moments throughout all 6-7 games.
Mm.
And yeah, it's, I could play them forever.
Yeah.
See, the thing I love about Japanese culture is like they don't hold back some of this stuff.
They
like,
do not.
Any
No.
jokes that will be like, oh man, that's a bit iffy, they'll be like, yeah, let's just take that up tenfold and see how weird it gets.
Yes.
Go for
And
it.
it's usually great.
What,
Yes.
you want to romance a 14-year-old girl? Go for it.
Yikes.
Persona.
Persona.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Yeah. So
Number 4?
so number 4 for me is and this is one that I had to really think about putting in because there's a few reasons as to why I didn't want to put it in, but the earlier half of this franchise is too good not to.
Yep.
For me, as someone grew up on Xbox, is Halo.
That's it.
Thought so.
I knew that was
Yeah.
going to be in the
Halo.
top 5.
Because you go through, you have Halo Combat Evolved 2,
Yep.
3, Reach,
Reach.
and ODST is a favorite
enough.
amount of other people. I cannot stress enough how much I hated 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Fucking hated them. The story, like multiplayer, fine. I'm not going to talk about multiplayer because Halo's and Bungie and 343 have always been good with multiplayer. The story in 4 and 5 was hog shit.
Fair enough. Especially with a
I-
game that
Don't
has
give
a
a
big single player.
fuck about Cortana. And that's what all the entirety of 4 and 5 was about. Chief was meant to die in 3.
Yeah.
But his story was wrapped up. You know, Ezio had his trilogy. Awesome. He had his trilogy. It was done.
Yep.
343 paid an insane amount of money for Bungie to keep him alive. Which they didn't even really do except for the legendary ending scenes, blah, 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 blah.
Is that where you
So-
find him frozen in something? Or
That's
what?
Halo Reach. There's
Gotcha.
so many, legendary endings. But 1, 2, 3 Reach, ODST are amazing.
Fair enough.
Spent so much time playing them. The story has always been really, really good. Like, 3 hands down has one of the best stories. 2 for me I loved because the idea of you got to play as the Arbiter, so you got to play on the Covenant side as well and go through all of that
okay.
transitioning
Gotcha.
to leading into, spoiler alert, the elite and human kind of connection, alliance against the rest of the Covenant because they overthrow
enough.
the species. Reach was just a game, was the first game I bought. The reason I bought a 360. I hadn't had one yet, and it was like, Reach is coming, just came out, and I was like, I need to get this. Got
This
it,
is happening.
played through the story like 5 times, and then my family was like, hey, we bought Wi-Fi. We've never had Wi-Fi before. So I went out, bought the adapter for the Xbox 360, because had yet to do that stuff if you were using Wi-Fi.
Yes. Like the
And-
Ethernet cable and all
Yeah.
that.
I don't think I played anything for 2 years other than Halo Reach multiplayer.
Fair enough.
I played it non-stop. It was one of my favorite memories. Like, it was one of those things that everyone in high school was playing Halo Reach, so we had
You had to play
massive
it.
games. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it
gotcha.
was such
I
a
get that.
good franchise. Up until 4 and 5. I am still very much holding out for Infinite to be good. It's one of those things, I hated 4 and 5, but it's one because it's another trilogy. If 6 is really good and ties up all the issues I had with 4 and 5, I will be more lenient on it.
Yep.
Just right now, I just don't think the story is going anywhere. I don't think they... Like, so 5, we had the whole thing where it was like, Chief is now like a rogue agent type thing, and they're sending out this other group. So you're playing in 2 squads of 4.
Okay.
So you have 3 NPCs with you or 3 other players. They did not capitalize that on as well as they could.
No.
And it was very lackluster. You know, the idea of a Spartan that's meant to be on par with the best Spartan ever. And we're, with Chief's team, we're getting these 3 Spartans that have always been spoken about in the games and the graphic novels and everything. And they finally did it, and it was kind of meh
Fair enough.
the whole way through. So I was kind of, yeah, rightio. I think it wasn't good the moment they made the grunts not speak English, because they had some of the most comedic lines ever.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're like, no, let's make them all speak their own language, because they're like an outer reach group of aliens. I'm like,
Yeah, but
I get
that, just
that, but
breaks the immersion a little bit.
it didn't have that one little fun thing about Halo.
Yeah, it's fair
And
enough.
it all came down to when Bungie left. When Bungie sold the product to 343,
And peaced
who
out.
didn't really know what they were doing, and then they went on and made another lackluster series in Destiny.
Oh,
Destroyed.
It got there. When Destiny came out, it was bad.
Cutting that off my lip. No, that didn't happen.
no.
But yeah, so
Absolutely.
Halo, like it was Halo and Mass Effect were
Yeah.
fighting. Both interstellar games, I love space things.
Yeah.
Both kind of follow the same sort of plot in a way, like not fully, but like, you know,
Yeah.
fighting aliens. Aliens suck.
Yeah, fair enough.
Earth. And I think Halo just down to the memories. I think Mass Effect had a better combat system, like the third person kind of thing. The idea of going and actually recruiting different people in your team, romantic options, stronger story, but I just think from memory and nostalgia base, and the fact that Halo is still going and not put on ice, I had to put Halo in and not Mass Effect.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
I get that.
Yeah.
Right.
We talked about it a bit earlier, and we were like, it definitely isn't in the cut. The Super Mario series is in mine.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't shocked that you would, but it's just not something I could put in there.
I grew up with Nintendo like as my main like consoles throughout most of my childhood and teenage years, and then Mario like. For me, music is one of the biggest parts. Like, a good soundtrack will make or break a game for me sometimes.
Yeah, I get that.
And for me, the Mario Galaxy like soundtracks are just fucking 10 out of 10 phenomenal. And,
Galaxy was good.
Mario 64 soundtrack is pretty solid still. There's some of the stuff, like Dia Dia Doc song is still one of my favorite ones that I have on my playlists.
Yeah, I get that.
And then I think for me, just growing up playing the Mario series, like I love platformer games growing up. They were just really fun. And I like, it had more of a like cartoonish, like childlike wonder to the series, which I think really brought me to it from a young age, and then just didn't leave.
Yeah,
for me, really.
That's fair enough.
And I think, especially like, Galaxy was fun. I think I'm not that big on motion control style games, so gameplay wise it isn't my favorite, but I think Odyssey, from a gameplay style and from a nostalgic point where they brought the best things of what made Mario great, and then even then brought some more innovation to it, I think really pushed it over the edge for being one of my favorite series.
I think Galaxy, I would say though, in terms of Wii, it was the best that utilized the movement aspect that wasn't like Wii Sports or whatever.
Yeah. That wasn't like the Nintendo game right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're also Sunshine.
Sunshine is great. There's some levels that aggravate me to this very day.
Oh, that's in every Mario game.
Some of the coin missions.
Oh, yeah, they're coin missions.
Shit me to tears.
Yeah, that's in every Mario. Every Mario game has that one, like, fuck you level.
Oh, yeah.
It's the jokes in, like, any game about, that one obligatory underwater level that always sucks.
Oh, yeah. I think Sunshine, I didn't like it the first time I played it, just because getting used to the different style of, like, mechanics using the water cannon definitely threw me off, but once I played it through a second time, I loved it for sure. It was a really fun
here's
time.
my petty reason as to why I loved it. I adore Bowser Jr. as a character.
Bowser Jr. is
so
fun.
For him to be like the bad guy, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. The voice acting is...
But it's a Mario game.
Yeah.
It
didn't need the voice acting.
Yeah, it was old school, like Nintendo trying to match what everyone else was doing. And then they were like, probably not.
I think, Mario 64, just the idea of jumping into a painting and being able to explore that world was something that my kid mind just went, you can do that? And it was just something that blew my mind.
Ash did it, and they're like, so, please get out of the art gallery.
Yeah, and then I'm not allowed back in there now, but it's fine.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah,
I understand.
And then Mario Odyssey was just fun. They took, they somehow, combined the nostalgia of being able to, jump into 2D worlds and some of the levels and jump out, and then exploring new innovative, systems of throwing Cappy around and just... They took what made Mario great and then innovated it to make it even better in some of these spots.
Like a modern... That is one, though, that I've talked to a lot of people about, and a lot of people couldn't finish it.
In Odyssey.
They don't know why.
Really?
And I'm in that boat as well. Like, I played it, I enjoyed it. I haven't gone back to it.
Yeah.
And I see it, I'm like, I'll have this. But I'll play Smash.
That's fair.
Like, I don't know why, and it's not like I hated the game, it's just one of those games where I struggle to find the motivation to finish it and play it.
That's fair.
And it's there, and I could. It's just like, play something else there.
That's fair. Right, I guess that means moving on to my 4.
Yep.
A big game. The Ace Attorney franchise.
Yeah.
I've been playing that since... I want to say 2007?
Yeah.
They've
DS.
got... DS. Yep. DS. They've got like 11 games now. They got... just a regional Ace Attorney, Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations, Apollo Justice, Ace Investigations 1, Ace Investigations 2, the Professor Layton crossover, 2 Japanese ones, I can't remember the names of for the life of me, Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice. I think I'm missing one. I don't remember. But, yeah, they just followed the same plan from game to game, and it works. Yeah. Incredible music, incredible characters, a good learning difficulty curve. So, the first case is always really easy, warms you into it. It's like, okay, you need to find who killed this person. Why? Because this. And then the second game sort of more like, well, not the second game, but the second case is always a bit more, okay, now you have to find why they did it. We're not going to give you the answers. It's now up to you. Yeah. But we'll give you someone to sort of give you a bit of a push in the right direction. And yeah, as you said, the music makes a big thing.
Oh, yeah.
this has incredible music. Like some of the sad music in this, with like when you're playing the game, will almost bring you to tears. And some of the main antagonists are written so well that they might introduce you to the main antagonist within the first 10 lines of the game. You won't find out who it is until the last 10 lines of the
Absolutely.
That's good.
game. And it's that suspense, along with gameplay, along with the music, characters. I just fail to find a fault in it every time I play it. Like, I played the trilogy, so 1, 2, 3, back in December, January. And
Which is on Switch now as well, by
it's on Switch, PS4, PC, it's on everything now.
for like $30 for the
Yeah.
trilogy. Worth
Yeah.
it.
And it still gives me that same sort of sense of, I don't know, excitement as what I got back in 2007. So that's probably why it's still pretty low on 4,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's something that I can just go and play, enjoy whenever I want.
Yeah. That's important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's like got that sort of casual sort of feel to it, but I don't know. It's just something I've enjoyed for the last 13 years or so.
Very cool.
Which other Japanese games will make Andrew's cut? We'll find out today.
I'll have a look.
So now we are going to move on to the ones that our
There are
first.
2 more.
We'll move on to
I can-
our
I can guess
first
one
one
of
that we
these.
really
Oh,
we
100%.
don't like or we couldn't get into.
Fair enough.
And it's going to be a controversial take on my first one,
Yep.
Hit us with it.
especially from you.
Hit us with it.
And this is a game that there's lots of games in the series, and I've always tried to play it, and I've never finished. I've never finished one of these games.
Yep.
Something about it just doesn't allow me to come back to it.
You
And
better say it.
it is Legend of Zelda. It is. I've never finished a Legend of Zelda game. No matter how many times I've played it, no matter how much I've tried, I cannot.
Up
finish.
until about 12 months ago, you were in the same boat as my brother.
Yeah,
He has played like 12 of them and couldn't finish one
I've
'cause
played.
he's not
I've
good at
played the
games.
majority of them. And I
That's a
think
different
the
reason.
one I've made it the furthest through was Majora's Mask.
Okay, it's a bit of a different one.
Yeah, I don't know why.
To the main song.
But it's just like I couldn't, and I recently bought a 64, and I was looking at games to buy for it, and there's Ocarina of Time and
Majora Mask.
and I'm just I couldn't. One, they're really expensive.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
But I just didn't have the drive to. I
That's fair enough.
knew, and it's the same with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild came out. Everyone's like, it's a beautiful game. You should get it. Bought a Switch. Was not on my list because I
Really?
sat there going, I will not finish it. I will not finish this game. So there's no purpose in me buying it.
It's bigger than the other Zelda games as
I
well,
know,
for sure.
and I don't know what it is. And I know it's a good game. And when I play Smash, I love the idea of the characters and the design and all that sort of stuff. I can't play it though.
I think
I can't. Like I tried so many times to do Ocarina of Time, and
Oh,
I
I
just
love
got
the
back
story of
like
Ocarina of
some
Time.
way through of it. And I'm like, I'm putting this down. I won't go back to it. And I don't know why.
I think with Zelda games you're a bit like me. You don't like the newer games, but I feel like if I got you to play like Link to the Past or like the original,
I think you'd
That
really
is-
enjoy Wind Waker, actually.
Wind Waker's not one I played.
Really?
Never finished.
Man,
Never.
like I'm talking like real old school ones, I think
Yeah.
you'd enjoy
Like the
more.
Oracle series, like that.
like older, like
Oh, wow.
Link to the Past old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Zelda on the NES old.
But like I said, I've nothing against the franchise in a whole. Like it's not one I put in here because I hate. It's just one I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
it's like one
physically-
you couldn't get into. Yeah, I get that.
and I tried, and like I'll play it, and it'll just be a point where, I felt like it was too much of a slog, so I'd stop and I'd go do something else, and then like I'd get to another game, and I'd be more
Yeah,
interested in
fair
that
enough.
game than I would be way more than Legend of Zelda.
That's fair.
And it's a shame because I know there's so many great games, and like yes, Breath of the Wild was like one of the best games of the year.
Second best.
The game.
Cool,
Second
couldn't,
best. Second best.
The game.
couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Persona's better though.
I'm,
Persona
I'm
5
very
is,
tied between those two.
Persona 5 is better than Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
But that's for another time.
Oh,
That is for another
That's
time.
That's another
I've
debate.
played one of them, so
That is for another time. We won't get into it.
All right.
Ash, go.
For me, Monster Hunter. I
Yeah.
just didn't get into it.
yeah.
That's a tough one to
Yeah.
get
Really.
into.
I feel like I would enjoy it, but like I don't know too much about it. I've only played Monster Hunter World, and I wasn't really that into
There
it.
was cats. They could cook and
Hell yeah.
I think it's something I need to play more of to.
I think it's more the idea of like, not just I'm not vegetarian or vegan in any way, but the idea of just hunting animals just doesn't really appeal to me in
Yeah.
the game. I feel
Yeah,
like
I get that.
there's something that should draw to me more to it.
I play Red Dead. It's like
Yeah.
half the thing you have to do in that game, and
That's a
That's
lot
different.
of hunting.
That's
yeah.
different.
Far Cry 3.
But that's not the main.
They're also different.
reason.
They're
for
not
it.
like
Oh,
the-
Far Cry 3. Yeah.
Far Cry
Yeah.
3, I spent a
Yeah.
good probably like 8 hours killing every animal
Oh,
to be like,
yeah.
I need this new bag.
Yeah, but you get trophies for that too. No.
Yeah, no, but like with like
We've also
things
been
like
playing
that.
the forest, and I find an animal head and go, this going on the wall.
Like Terrence and One.
Yeah, Terrence and one. Then what was the other two? I named the 2 other sharks I put in the house.
Oh, it was.
It was like, Jessica and... Oh no, it was Crispin and...
it was
I can't remember.
Crispin.
I've gone slightly crazy in the forest. I'm just
no.
murdering everything.
Damn it.
Yeah, continue.
But yeah, I just couldn't really like the games. They look beautiful graphically wise.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the gameplay is really solid, and like the multiplayer perspective on it is really good too. It's just
I think that would be my
Didn't
one
get
point
into
about
it.
World, is I couldn't get into it either, but World is you have to play with friends.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It is like a GTA Online-esque. It's not one game where I don't understand people can go in and just do it by themselves.
You cannot
no.
take down some of the bosses on your own. You
No.
physically
No,
can't.
but yeah, and same with Destiny. Like when I used to play Destiny, it was only fun if I played with people because the whole point of that is like doing the raids and like with Monster Hunter, it's like taking on those big creatures.
Yeah.
Don't understand why people go, I'm gonna log on solo and play by myself.
Yeah,
no,
no.
that's
You
not.
will get bodied.
Yeah,
It's
no.
the same like with the forest. I don't think I'd log on and play the forest by myself because you get destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. Like the fun thing is, walking up to Andrew with a seagull head and be like, "Hello."
Or like
Like,
that time, literally in our
Full
first
on,
world,
anyway.
when you're like, hey, look at this. I turn around with the shark head.
We
in my
both were
hands,
holding shark
and you were holding a
heads.
shark head.
Attack it.
See, that's the sort of stuff about these games, and I think Monster Hunter World's the same. Where
It needs a big story.
it needs a
Yeah.
I just don't think I could ever want to jump on by myself.
Yeah.
Fair enough, I get
pretty
that.
much.
I get that.
Yeah, that's my like. I don't think it's a bad franchise, but anyway, it's just not something that I'm
Oh,
really
absolutely,
interested in.
It's got a following, and
Yeah.
graphically looks good. It's an interesting concept.
Mm.
And like designs of all the creatures are pretty cool.
Oh, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Not like No Man's Sky, weird penis creatures, but
They have updated that a lot, apparently.
I have.
So-
I played it a while ago. Another one that I would
Oh,
probably
apparently it's
play
been updated even
with.
more now.
That's one I want to play with friends. It's not one where it's on your own. That's boring.
Yeah, definitely. So
Yeah, that's my
Monster-
one that I didn't really enjoy as much.
Yeah,
but
understandable.
This one for me isn't so much a game, but more so a genre, because there are no series within this genre.
Yes.
I can't get into battle royale games.
That's fair.
Like,
Interesting.
yeah, like we've played a bit of Apex, but even that I struggle to like. Really...
I think that one's more fun in the sense of where it is, and we just have a bit of
Yeah,
fun.
okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because we do stupid stuff, but like overall, I can't do it. I can't do it. It doesn't appeal to me as
What do you feel about the Mario one when that came out?
Mario one.
There was
They're all-
it was the first Mario game, and it's one of 100 people, and you want to be the first person to get to Bowser.
I don't think I actually ended up playing that one.
Oh yeah, that got canned real quick.
Oh yeah, Nintendo
Oh, yeah.
jumped on that one.
Oh,
real
was that like the
quickly.
third party one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
It's just something I've never been able to get into. No matter the game, no matter the
Like concept or
yeah,
style.
no matter
of
the
it.
concept or style or what the end goal or what you can do, it's just something that's never appealed to me.
It's fair.
I don't think
It's-
I've had more fun doing Battle Royale than when we're on stage at PAX.
Yeah,
I think that's the most fun. Like the idea of actually being involved in all the people you're in a game with are in the same room as you, and
That
Yeah,
that brings that more
that's-
competitive fun
Yeah.
vibe to it. Yeah.
yeah, that's a little bit different though. Considering like you take that and then you go to playing at home in your room.
yeah.
Getting
with-
shot by Kenny, the 11-year-old, who's
Yeah,
better
exactly.
than you. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Exactly.
fine.
Getting
that's
shot by
why-
a guy who lives in
I mean, we're
Mozambique or
forgetting.
something.
We're forgetting
Picked up in
one
Mozambique.
one of our times playing PUBG, where we had China number 1, yeah, but Japan number 2, and then they died immediately.
Yeah.
They died in about
They were both-
15
They
seconds.
were
of
both
jumping.
Japanese, I think.
Yeah, because I think I chimed in, and then they asked me if China number 1. And I was like, yeah, and they went, yeah, but Japan number 2, and I was like, yeah. And then they died immediately. It's my favorite thing. Is
Yeah.
like they're speaking Japanese and they're like talking shit, and then we land, and I land. I'm like getting weapons, down, leave the game. And I was like,
Like,
Just go
I'll
on.
play it if like you guys are on, but like it's not something I'd actively go. I'm gonna play this now.
yeah,
Yeah, not
I
really
think the
solo.
reason for me why I get into Apex is because it's first person,
Fair enough.
and I'm just naturally good at first person shooters. Like going through my list, like Halo and
Yeah,
Infinity and
everything
stuff.
is
It's something
first
I can
person.
do quite well.
That's fair enough.
I also much prefer the art style of Apex and it's got more of a stylistic approach to it,
I
made
was
by developers. of
quite shocked
Titanfall.
when I found out it was in the same universe as Titanfall.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's completely confirmed, but like there's a lot. All the guns carry across. Pathfinder, the bot in it is like in Apex is just a factory bot in Titanfall, all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Fortnite sucks.
But like, yeah, I just can't do battle royals no matter
Yeah,
what.
it's one of those ones like
Like
it's,
you can or you can't.
I don't know why whatever like unless I'm just like want a quick game, I would never jump on and do
Yeah,
it by
fair enough.
myself. Like
I'm
it's
not a 9-year-old who has mum's credit card.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. If I want to shoot people, I'll play Siege.
V-Bucks. We'll get into that later.
Goddamn V-Bucks. Anyway.
So,
Um,
top 3 now for
Yep, we're the big boys.
3.
I've been waiting for this one for a bit. Aloha to Persona.
Persona.
Yes.
I knew that'd be there in this one.
Yes,
Essentially, now that you have 4
couldn't.
and
Yeah,
3
I
and
couldn't.
all
I
that.
couldn't put it too high up, and it was one of those things where do I put it at 5? But it's rare for me to get really hooked on games. Like I'll play it once and go, cool, I'm done. Like I adore Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
I mean, I play it every 2 years or so. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, I was like, cool. I haven't picked up since. I actually just traded in because I had it on my one. If I'm gonna replay it, I'll buy it on my PS4.
Yeah.
Persona, both Personas I've played. So I've played 4, I've played 5. I have 1, 2, 3 all lined up ready to go as well. But I know there's a very big shift between the two.
There
I
is.
adore the 4 and 5 Persona, which I know at the time when Persona 4 came out, a lot of people hated it.
Yeah.
They hated the
Too colourful
colourfulness, the
and
humour.
Too kid friendly.
Which it's not. It's a murder mystery.
Yeah.
There's literally dead bodies hanging from
I think-
antennas and stuff.
I think the whole thing is because in 3 you shoot yourself.
You
in the
literally
head to
shoot
get
yourself
the
in the
Persona.
head.
Yeah.
This one they have a card that they crush. Ooh.
Yeah.
But it's just like only games I think ever where, like I said this the other day to you guys. I played Persona 4. I finished it. Didn't get the best ending. So I immediately restarted and started playing.
Yeah.
I've never done that with a game before. I've never actively finished and just straight away started again. I'm already halfway through it again, because I'm just skipping all the cutscenes because I know what happens. But it's amazing. Like, and 4 and 5 feel very similar
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah, I
Gameplay
get that.
mechanic, it's the same sort of stuff. Like, yes, it's graphically, and there are major changes. There's almost 10 years between
Yeah.
Persona 4. I have Persona 4 gone, but it's between Persona 4 and Persona
Yeah,
5.
definitely.
But vibe-wise, like, character arcs
Oh,
are
it's
going to
almost
be
the exact same.
humor. Like, all through 4, there's a entire character that you and the other male character are scared of because he might be gay. Like, because it's, that was acceptable at the time. He's not gay, I don't think, but he wants to do craft. It's like the whole plot point for that character. And that's
right.
Japanese games. Like,
Yeah.
this whole thing's of like, and there's like a character who's wants to get a transition to be a man because because Persona is a detective and she feels like she can't be taken seriously as a girl.
I get that.
All this sort of stuff. And every character has their plot points. You can build on it. Like you said, it's one of those things where they reveal like the person in it who's the bad guy in probably the first couple hours of the game, but you won't like be like yes until towards the end.
Yeah.
Like there's bits in Persona 4 where there's so many bad people.
Oh,
Like
I'm
it's
sure.
not just
I'm
one
sure.
or two. It's like
Agree.
okay, but there's like this person who did that one thing over there, but then this person's done this, and there's
Yeah,
also
exactly,
that person,
yeah.
and there's whole stuff that
Yeah,
happens,
yeah.
which makes it super interesting. And the fact that they're games you can easily put over 100 hours into.
Yes,
Every
definitely.
character means something. There's been animes and stuff based off of it because they want to reach a wider portion. Because there's been the people that want to play Persona 5, but I don't have a PS4.
Yeah.
So they make
yeah,
the anime,
yeah,
which
yeah.
might not give the full telling, but it makes sense.
Yeah, it gives you the story.
And like I said, I haven't played all of them, but like the fact that 4 and 5, and I think they're the two. Like, I'm hesitant to go play 3 because I know there is a shift. But 4 and 5 are just my type of games. Like, there's the drama side of it. There's like so much character build between every character you meet.
Definitely.
I don't like RPGs, but this is an RPG I could get into.
I have a feeling there's another RPG on your list as well.
Yes,
Just
yes,
waiting to
yes.
come
Okay.
But like I've tried like Final Fantasy and stuff like that, and it's
Yeah,
been
I
stuff
get
I'm
that.
like, yeah, this is fun, but I've never got into it as much as Persona. And
Yeah, I
the
get
art
that.
style and music in it are
Perfect.
amazing.
Oh,
Definitely.
amazing.
Totally.
And 4 is
God.
very similar in the art
Yeah,
style
yeah.
and the music to
Definitely.
5 because they realized what they had was really good. Except one interesting thing about it is because Persona 5 takes place in a big city, 4 is done in a little rural town. There is a bit more twang to some of the stuff. So the opening thing,
yeah.
like when you start it, you're like, oh, this sounds really weird, and then it gets into the Persona thing, and it's
Okay.
a bit more country about it.
Bit more banjo.
The characters are really good. Like there's like the same it's one of those things that it's going to follow the cliche
Yeah,
characters. So you have
course.
your father role model. You have like in 4 there's like your actual, you get given like your cousin who ends up being more like a little sister to you.
Okay, fair enough.
Because each character is based off some of the Arcania, so they have kind of the same sort of things, but they are different enough from each other from 4 to 5, and I know 3 is vastly different.
Yes, 3 is.
And it's a good game when there's constant waifu wars. And
Oh, yeah.
I was looking into fan theory videos, and they literally bullied Matt Pat from Game Theory into an apology because he did his Game Theory without actually knowing anything about the fucking game. Like he got bullied. He got bullied and did like an
whoops.
official apology. and like now he will never
Yeah.
cover Persona again because he got bully hard, because this is such a dedicated, and at the time until 5, not a big Western game,
No,
not
at all.
not a lot. Like 5 is what's made it mainstream, and yes,
Yeah.
it was a game that pulled me in because you guys were like, Persona's really good, you should play it. I played it, I loved it to the point where I'm like, I have to play
Yeah,
the
definitely.
others.
You got
definitely. I get
sucked
that.
in.
I
Yeah,
get that.
which is good. Like I adored
Yeah.
4. 4 was just as good as 5 in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like once again, I played Golden because
But then again,
it's
they only
easy.
release Sony games every 5 years or so.
yeah.
So they have that time to make it
At the
good.
time, and then
Yeah.
they do like Golden and Royal.
Yeah.
They do like an updated version. So instead of just like here's DLC, we'll give you the whole game to play again
But more.
and adjust. Yeah, new characters, new weapons, new Persona,
Yeah,
new
I'm
locations
excited.
to visit. You can now go to a concert and play darts in Persona 5.
Darts.
All this extra stuff, which is great.
180.
In Persona 4, I just won a challenge like the big burger.
Yeah, oh yes.
Oh.
This
Big
one,
Bang-
this
Big
one's
Bang,
like a
yeah.
noodle bowl.
Oh.
I did that, and the dude just goes, "I'm impressed." And I was like, "Yeah, I did
Yeah.
noodle."
You've
Um,
got
Persona, yeah.
But it is an amazing game for it to like. For me, once again, I don't get drawn into games like that heavily.
But yeah.
especially story-based games that take so much time to do it. But it is a
It's a good one.
brilliant game, and it's the idea of it. You get sucked.
Yeah,
you
that's
climb
good.
into a TV. This one.
No, okay.
Nice.
Because the
Bit older.
midnight channel and people
Yeah.
appear and they're going to die, so you climb into the TV.
Fair
Because why
enough.
not?
Fair
In a
enough.
supermarket
Checks out.
as well. It's not even your own TV.
Alright, fair
Because
enough.
the one in your room's too small. That's a plot point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I
Really?
get it, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's like the opening bit is like, oh, I saw the person and I put my hand in the TV and I got sucked in TV. Like, yeah, of course you did. So you go to like the big supermarket chain that's just open there, and the two characters are talking because one of them wants to buy a TV, and your guy just goes into the TV, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, and he just goes, "Maybe I can put my head in here,"
Fair enough.
and you all fall into the TV.
Okay. Sure, go.
Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
I knew that'd be in there.
That was my number 3. So the moment you went for 4.
So good to know what I'm thinking of is top 2.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I think you might not guess what my number 2 is. Actually, we'll find out. But yeah,
Round.
yes.
Ba 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 ba. No.
Legend of Zelda.
Is that Legend of Zelda?
Continue.
God damn it. Oh,
No, I
it's-
knew this would be on your list.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah. Such a long lasting. Oh man, like I think because I played it since I was a kid as well, that obviously helped. Like add that I get that sense of excitement when a Zelda game comes out. I'm like fuck yeah, another Zelda game. Like I think Ocarina of Time, just the story was something that really drew me into it, and I loved it. It's not that detailed, but the idea of like. You go through the serious quest as a kid, you think you're awesome, but then you get sealed away because you're not good enough, and then 7 years later you're finally a man who can overcome the things that was screwing you over as a kid.
I remember very clearly
And then-
being a kid playing Ocarina of Time, and then in like one of the first towns you go to, just like the graveyard.
Yeah.
I was like, "What's in here?"
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
being fucking scared.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That game should not have an E for everyone rating.
No.
Like,
That's,
oh,
that's
man.
like a pretty big. There's pretty big things in there that
Mhm.
like shouldn't
Like
be in there.
the Shadow Dungeon.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. There's corpses hanging from walls. There's rooms that are made out of corpses. You fight one monster which is literally just arms flailing from it, and then like a neck thing that pops up. And like as a kid, you would legitimately deuce your pants. There's no doubt
yeah.
about it.
I love how we went from Persona, where the shadows are penises.
Yep. Yep.
Dead bodies awards.
Dead bodies everywhere. But yeah, and then playing from that one, which is kind of more kid friendly, to Majora's Mask, where the story is you have 3 days until everyone's gonna die. Do something about it, and it's
And then you
just
go back in time and like.
Yep.
You go back only
only
3 days to go do something different. So you go back 3 days again.
and then you can fix things. Oh man.
Yeah, it's just it's I understand it.
like just as well. Like we mentioned it earlier, music will make or break a soundtrack, and Zelda has some of the most iconic
Yeah.
songs in any game franchise ever. And I think Ocarina of Time, using like the ocarina itself was such a mainstay, you needed to use it for like level mechanics and like to get to places. And I think the way they incorporated
You can
that
play
with
Darude
the songs-
Sandstorm on it.
God damn it.
Seen that video?
Go to Darudo. Nah, it didn't work. I was gonna make
No.
a Darudo
No.
Valley joke. It didn't work.
No, it
Anyway,
doesn't work.
yeah, and then oh man, Wind Waker. I could go on for the stories
Yeah.
for ages.
Wind
but
Waker by far, in terms of what I played, was my favorite in terms of art style and like how different it was.
I think I loved the art style. It was such a cool like different approach for
Yeah,
me. Which
that was the one I really tried to give a shot, but I think my biggest problem was I had it on my Wii U
oh
when it was
yeah.
remade
Yeah.
there.
I'll tell you what though, we can all agree, and we can say the best Zelda game was Spirit Tracks.
Of course.
No.
Buy it on DS
I don't
today.
even know what the fuck that one is.
Like the whole plot point was you drive trains.
Nice,
Zelda's a dead princess. A ghost is following
Oh,
you
yeah.
around.
nice.
And you drive trains.
Yep.
Trade
Literally, you're a
bitch,
train
motherfucker,
conductor.
What you know? Train simulator. Watch that video. Train simulator. It's a great
Of course.
video.
I think
Don't
the
know
thing I
anything
love
about
about like Wind Waker is although it's what the story behind it with the approach of you go to like rescue your sister and you can't in a tower and then you go through like the usual dungeons and get better, then you go back and you can actually see the progress of Link as a character going from a scared little brat who couldn't do anything to actually fighting this monster bird who kicked you out the first time, and it like you get to see the hero's progression behind it a lot more.
Yeah, I
Which I
got
think
that.
I really enjoy. And
Oh, yeah.
then I will say, oh man, I didn't enjoy Skyward Sword as much from a gameplay mechanic just because
Still pretty good. Still pretty good.
it was really good. Like, and for like a Zelda game, it was great. But
Yeah.
like, I think the motion controls again, just I'm not that big of a fan of them. But that's just me. And then I think Breath of the Wild was such. It took a very different approach to the usual Zelda theme, especially with like open world style. You can go do whatever you want, in whatever order you want, really.
I think it's because that's the big thing now.
Yeah.
Like open world games are full something like that to do that.
Mm.
Like so, an already big like idea like game to take a concept that is blooming was a really smart move.
I think Zelda, like Breath of the Wild, wasn't perfect in terms of like we talked about this in depth
Yes.
quite a bit. You're a lot more lonely as Link in
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. There's not as much. You don't have companions around you at all. Really, you get like you talk to people in villages and go do side quests, and there's a lot of characters.
Do you have the
around,
dumb fairy?
But
No.
no.
Good.
That's like a one-off thing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Oof.
That was my text tone for a while. I don't know why.
Like, my big problem with Breath of the Wild, though, there was just so much nothing.
Yes.
Like, when you
Depends-
compare it to... Like, okay, like, what I mean by that is, like, you compare it to Persona 5.
Mm.
There's something literally everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Whereas like, Breath of the Wild, you know, you can do your paragliding thing and it'll just be this giant open field of nothing.
It has one of my least favorite game mechanics and something that we're doing less in games. I
Climbing
hate
stamina?
breaking weapons.
That is something I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy as
When
much.
weapons break,
Yeah.
and I know it was very big in that. Like I understand if it's like, oh, you know, they'll be worse, so they won't do as much. But if I'm in a battle and I just have no weapon at that point, I'm like, what? Okay, I'm not gonna play
Yeah.
this. Like, it's just a mechanic I've never enjoyed.
Yeah.
I did like that it gave you the option to have different weapons as opposed to just a sword.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes.
That was
Yeah.
good. That was it. Was innovative.
But even the fact-
innovative and new and different, which I liked,
Mm.
but it wasn't, you know, the big perfect Zelda game. That's what a lot of people
I
said.
think there was definitely improvements that could have been made. I think as well though, just in terms of gameplay mechanics, like I love the idea of anything that you think you can do, you can basically do in Breath of the Wild, which is
Yeah.
like to some extent, like you see a tree, if you want to knock it down to get across this gap between cliffs, you can knock a tree down, make a bridge, get across it. If you have a leaf blow, you have a guy on the edge of a cliff, you can use that, launch him, and he'll be
But
gone.
why could the Master Sword break?
Master Sword.
It could break. It's like
Yeah,
you know,
that's
the
actually a really good point.
staple weapon in the whole franchise.
Series, yeah,
It can break,
yeah, that's real stupid.
and I was like,
It should be like the
You
ones.
get it towards the end and it's unbreakable. Would make more sense.
Yes,
But this
Yeah.
was like apparently you could get it pretty early on and it would break like any other weapon.
Not super early on, like midway through the game,
Yeah.
I'd say.
But
you
you
need
know-
a certain amount of parts to get it.
Let it get like later on and
Yeah.
be indestructible.
yeah, definitely.
Like
understand that.
I like in as a mechanic in games, I prefer weapons getting worse over time without repairs, not break.
Like, I remember like the original Zelda game on the NES. You need, I think you do it now. You needed a certain amount of hearts to get the Master Sword.
Mm.
However, you still needed to go through, even if you got all the bonus hearts outside the dungeons and everything, you still needed to, like, there was the 9th level, which was the last one, which was Death Mountain,
Mm.
which I don't think has changed, like, since now.
Not really.
Yeah, we still needed to get till about level 6, level 7 to get it.
Mm.
And it was just ripped through everything.
I think it's more powerful and more resilient than the other weapons in the game because it would be stupid if it wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm just shocked that they would make it break.
Yeah, like your
Yeah.
big weapon.
One of the most iconic weapons in like gaming history.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
and
And
it
it just breaks.
Breaks like a sword would, like
Yeah.
any other sword.
Yeah,
I think
Like, imagine walking to a shop and going, "I have the Master Sword. I broke it. Can you fix it for me, please?"
I'll give you 6 rupees. But yeah, I think the soundtrack isn't as good in this game, but I think it does its job of... Breath of the Wild is a much more quiet game in points, and I think the soundtrack lends to that really well. And then, like, it will intense... You'll be walking through a forest and it's fine, then a guardian will turn up and then you'll shit your pants because piano music will just go da-da-da-da-da-da and you'll know that you're in trouble. But I think the cutscenes help lend to the game a lot. They make it, like, they show a lot more of the backstory and show why you're doing what you're trying to accomplish in the game, and I think that helps make it less lonely in points. But you have to go find them, which makes it a bit more difficult. Like, it's less linear, and I think that makes it better depending on the type of player that you are. Like, if you want a game where you can go do what you want and make your own adventure yourself, you can do that in Breath of the Wild. But I think if you want a more linear structure, then that's not really the game for you as much.
I feel like the big problem with that, and it was exploited in Breath of the Wild massively. 5 minutes after starting, you could go, I'm going to go fight Ganon and finish the game.
You will get your ass kicked, though.
But people have done it.
Yeah, but
That's the thing.
It's been ages since the game's come out, though. Like, they
I
had to
know.
try and fail for ages to do
Right,
it.
but they still managed to do it. And I feel like a game that big, you shouldn't be able to
These
do
are
it.
the kinds of players, though, that can reflect literally every single weapon with a shield thing.
Yeah, but
These are people who have wasted, like, tens and 20s of hours just getting that mechanic down to be
still,
able to do
like,
it.
even... I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that still.
The Far Cry, don't leave the
That's
room and you'll
different.
come back and
Yeah.
okay, let's go.
That's a little bit different, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's a mechanic they've put in most of the games now as a joke. You can do it in 4
Yeah.
and 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That moves on to my 3, doesn't it?
Mhm.
I've noticed a lot of the games that I've put in my series, you guys haven't touched with a stick.
Not
And this
really,
is
yeah.
going to continue with
Nice.
Metal Gear Solid.
Mhm.
I played 1.
Like 1 or
No, like
One of them.
Phantom Pain?
Phantom Pain 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've played Super Smash Bros. Brawl and played his cutscenes
In a
in
box.
story
Yeah.
mode.
So, Metal Gear Solid, incredible games. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Peace Walker, Portable Ops. You got the original Metal Gear games. Massive amounts of story in each of them. Like the first one, I don't know, like the other thing with it is the stories don't take a set time. So I think 5 is the latest, 3 is the first chronologically, and it's like, so but you have to play them in order of what
Yeah.
they were released, of course. So you play with 1, you Snake. Well, at this point he was Snake. You have to fight your half brother or something in the Metal Gear. 2, you're like what was tried to be as new Snake, which went down so
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talk about that one.
Yeah. He wasn't bad, he just wasn't Snake.
Apparently he was better in the next game when you didn't play as him. They actually gave him character. And
Yeah, well, like the next game he appeared. I'm not sure if it's 4. I haven't played 4 yet. I'm playing 4 now. Was I think Revelations or something like that.
Hmm.
And he was a cyborg.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And everyone's like, that's way cooler. Why couldn't we do that?
exactly.
There
But
we
like 2 was good because it also had Snake, but it just wasn't there. And it has like a lot of iconic game moments in 2 as well, where your transmission to like your boss guy gets sort of messed up or like hacked, and every like comms thing it happens randomly
Alright.
over however long it takes you to
Wasn't the
finish that level.
first one where the last boss could read your memory card?
Yes.
Yeah.
PS1. I think it was
Whoa.
Psycho Mantis.
Yeah, and
And
like,
like you go to a certain
and it
point
was
in
like
the
a whole
game.
thing where like
If you had played certain games,
yeah, it was like, oh,
you'd be like,
yeah.
I see you're a fan of this game, but I see you don't like saving very often.
Yeah. And then,
And
like,
he like bags you out on it.
then it
and-
wasn't. I don't know if this was the same thing, but like you'd get stuck and you had to put your controller
Yeah,
into
that
2.
was, that was the same one. You had to like
Yeah.
pull your controller out of 1, put it into 2. However, if you didn't have that, there was a switch hidden inside that room,
Hmm.
which would allow you to hit him. Still very tough, especially
Very creative.
very
Yeah.
creative. Like I think it's one of the only games that's ever done something like that.
Well, you have the same equivalent in Banjo,
Yeah.
where if you put into a cheat, she wipes your save.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
But I don't think this guy wipes your save though.
No, but that's also just like another like really cool thing
Yeah,
because you know you can put. I guess you can put in 2 cheats, but if you put in a third, she kills your save.
Banjo is very difficult.
and you
to
can't save the
100%.
rest of the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just like all these weird bosses, and one of my favorites and one of a lot of people's favorites for Metal Gear Solid was Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Hmm.
Hands down has a soundtrack that rivals Persona.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
them, that main theme is the most James Bond-esque piece of music I've ever heard without it actually being James Bond.
Nice.
And it's like really big on your strings and drums,
Yeah.
That's good.
and it plays at the saddest points.
Oh man.
Like, I'm not going to spoil this game because I want to do this as a series at some point. But the third boss, like the final boss in 3, is like a real big talking point. And once you kill them, the whole scenery changes.
Okay.
like for the sad.
Mm.
This is like
The big sad.
big sad. Like when I first got this on the 3DS, literally made me tear up
Damn.
Alright.
because you have to do it. You have to be the one to finish it.
Yeah.
The game doesn't do it for you. You have to do it. So I
God
stood there
damn
for
it.
10 minutes trying to run away
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want to do it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've seen most of them. There's also the boss in that one, which you can win because you just let him die.
Yeah,
old
yeah,
age.
yeah. That's
He's so old, like he's like an old school, like kind of like agent,
like-
where if you just run and hide, he won't come to you and he'll just die of old age.
like the thing
Got
with
him.
him is he was genetically engineered.
Yeah.
And this was going to be his last fight regardless. It's like in the cutscene, he's like, Forrest, give me one more chance. Give me this one last battle and I will be yours forever. And
You can choose not to give him that fight.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
run
you
and
can.
hide and he won't find you and eventually just like,
yeah, it takes a week though.
yeah,
rough.
it's
And
a long
then
time.
another boss in that one, it's really, it like really plays on you. The more people you kill, the harder he is.
Oh.
It's gonna be hard for me.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
I think you're in a river for this one, and everybody you kill floats down the river and tries to kill you.
Oh
So
my
you
god.
can like skip this boss entire. I think he's called the Sorrow. You can skip this fight entirely if you don't kill anyone. So you just have to walk down the river, and you'll be like, well,
Pacifists.
you ruined my plan. Okay, I'm out.
You stab.
No, and he just disappears. But then, like, you know, you even have 5 where you wake up in a hospital
I have
after a
seen.
giant battle. You have like a horn,
Whoa.
and like it's like a piece of metal or something that they can't get out. And you have like prosthetic arm and things like that.
So the one where like the opening bit is just you stumbling down a hallway for ages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to avoid a guy on fire.
Yeah.
And like the story for that is so good because you have like because it's set like in the present day, so you've got all the game's history to go on. So you've got all the guys you've gone up against who have gone on your side, helping you essentially take down this organization.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
the main bad guy. It's not even a spoiler. You get told literally at the start of the game. It's a guy called Skullface. Anyone want to have a guess why he's called Skullface?
He has a
His
skull.
face
for a
is
face.
skull.
Yes.
Yeah.
His face is a literal skull, except it's skin. So like,
Yeah.
it's like a transparent sort of thing.
Oh, I have.
Okay,
Yeah, I have.
okay.
Yeah, I have seen.
yeah,
it.
and
Wasn't the last Metal Gear Solid game really bad though? It was like the zombie one.
oh, it was Metal Gear Survive. That's
Yeah.
not main series, but that was terrible.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I was looking forward to it because I like zombie games. But then-
Also, Link's crossbow training. Another reason why it's a
Oh, I forgot
with
about
the
that.
Wii shooter,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's
But
actually fun for a piece of shit game. Anyway,
well, like,
Cam.
the Metal Gear Solid series is one that I want to continue playing, and when and if they make a new one, I'm all over it.
Mm.
All
Cool.
right, second baddie.
This one was a toss-up between 2 very similar games, and it was Battlefield or Call of Duty, and I was a bit unsure.
What did you do? Hit me with it.
The only reason why it is not Call of Duty is because Call of Duty Zombies. I played Zombies for ages, and I think I spent more time. I could not get into Battlefield,
Fair enough.
and it will go down purely to die-hard fans. Put me off of it.
Fair enough.
Because you go into those lobbies and it's just shit talking, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Like, because, you know, people that play Die Hard are the people that despise COD.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, no matter what you do, like, if you just say something that you don't like it or you don't like that mechanic, they will, like, fuck you, you suck. Like, it was just...
Yeah. I
And
get
it was
that.
just one of those games, like, I preferred Halo and COD, and to me, Battlefield was the third.
Yeah,
It was
I get
the
that.
last one I got to, and I played it for a bit, and I was like, yeah, like, alright, but, like, I could just play COD, it's simpler, like...
Yeah.
I prefer the smaller maps, the quicker kills than like, you know, spawn in Battlefield, run halfway across the map, die. Have to wait for your squad mate to be clear to spawn on them. They end up dying as well, so you both have to spawn back at base and then you do it again
Fair
anyways.
enough.
It just took too long.
Fair
and
enough. I
and now
get
it's got to the point where now Call of Duty's doing it anyways.
Yeah.
That's what the newest COD's been. It's been those big
Long
warfare-esque
yeah.
type things.
Mhm.
I mean, Halo had that too. You had your big team battle, vehicles, all these big weapons, all this sort of stuff. So Battlefield just couldn't do
I
it.
get
There's
it.
nothing
I
too
get
much
it.
about it.
So-
I get
Just
it.
people soured me on it, and I was just one of those games where, in the time, they were all very similar. So to me, it was not the one
Yeah.
I needed.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call this a franchise. I don't know how many games are actually in this one.
Hit me and I'll tell you.
Minecraft.
One.
I know there's spin-offs, like some dungeon crawl based
Yeah.
ones on like some sort of consoles. but
Minecraft Story Mode.
yeah, there's that too.
I played that.
I think
Pretty good.
I can see the appeal, and I totally get why it's one of the biggest games of all time at this point. I'm just not that big on crafted type games.
Pokemon though.
I know, but I think
Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z.
I know. I know the amount of spin-offs and the amount of shit that you can do in Minecraft. You can do pretty much anything from that type. But I think I'm just not that big on crafted games. And I think I found out as well playing Pokemon 3D. I'm not that big on pixelated games from a first-person perspective. For some reason, I literally get headaches from it. And I don't know why.
I'm going to throw a counter argument to you not liking crafty games, though. You play Stardew Valley.
I don't play that much.
But you
If you check the amount of hours that I put
I know, but you,
with friends more.
True.
But I think
But I mean,
as
you'll be
well-
doing the same if you play Minecraft.
Yeah, but the same thing as well. It's a 2D.
True.
The 3D just does my head in for some reason, and I don't really know why. I just get
You
literal
can play
headaches from
third
it.
person, both of them, both that and Pokemon 3D.
Yeah, I'm just not really that into it. I think as well I prefer story games where I can just go in and play the game. Like I think in Minecraft, like I get that there's a creative side to it and you can do what you want. I think that's awesome for people who are really into that. But it's just not really my kind of scene, really.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So that's a bit okay. My number 2 bad game. I'm gonna go the opposite direction to you.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Call of Duty.
Yep.
Aha!
It's one of those things that everyone's hyped up.
You don't like shooters, hey?
Like
As much.
I like shooters. Like if I had Metal Gear Solid, which is like a stealth
Yeah.
shooter, and I've
Should play Splinter Cell. That's a good one.
yeah. I just don't like Call of Duty. Like,
The only thing that saved me on it was zombies. I really enjoyed zombies.
fair enough. I've barely played that as well.
It's pretty cool. Black Ops 2 zombies.
I've heard like it's this. But when I like go and I've tried to play like 2 or 3 of them, it's just like
Yeah.
it feels the same,
Oh, it's very.
and
very
it's just like
I don't touch the story
yeah,
at
it's
all
like
anymore.
well like yeah, that's great.
I like the Modern Warfare stories, and that was pretty
You've
much
got,
it.
like,
That was pretty
10
much peak.
games.
First Black Ops was pretty good.
Mhm.
You've got like 10
Okay.
games, which essentially has the same story mode. But
War.
Like,
War
yeah,
never changes.
war was beginning. 21.
The numbers,
06
Mason. What do they
AD.
mean?
The numbers don't lie. It's for disaster people at sacrifice.
But yeah, no, I
Captain,
definitely.
Someone said I busted the bomb. Say what? Main screen turn on. I had that like whole thing memorized, but I'm not going to touch that. Anyway, yeah, but Call of Duty, not my thing. Not my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, zombies is what held me back. Just good memories playing
Fair
zombies. Like,
Mm.
simple turn-based, like, round-based gets harder every round.
Yeah.
Pick the right weapons, all that sort of stuff. There's no story. Well, there was. It got really complicated with the story, but you didn't have to do the story for it
Fair
to be
enough.
enjoyable.
Fair enough.
The story was for those Easter egg hunter type people. So
Yeah.
that's my only saving grace why I chose that over
Yeah. Okay.
Battlefield.
Like, I'm down to just play, just do a random free-for-all deathmatch for an hour with friends. That's fun, but, it doesn't have long
It
attention
had
to me.
really good party multiplayer games, like gun games, sticks and stones, all that sort of stuff, where it wasn't just,
Fair
let's shoot each other. It's like, I kill you and get a better gun now. And that's like the process of
Like,
it.
Yeah.
build up.
Yeah, was probably what made it better.
It's
But, yeah.
just not my thing. It's like a big war
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
never
was
did
considering
it.
that or Battlefield.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have both of them in there.
Yeah.
So, too good.
Number 2.
Two. My number 2
The
is
Deuce.
Pokemon.
That's my
Nice.
number 2.
Yeah. Pokemon.
Dag it.
Is that your number?
That's
So,
number 1.
Yeah.
okay.
We'll get to that.
Well, we all knew it was going to be there, but yeah. So
Yeah, Pokemon.
for me, because it's been there always and probably always will be until
Yep.
it dies.
Yeah.
The fact that it can travel across, like, teaching kids now will always
Yeah.
be the one boy that comes in and is like, oh, I like Pikachu. And I'm like, you uncultured kid. There's so many better Pokemon than Pikachu. But like it is universal. Like it's
Yeah,
something
it's
that like,
something that's
people
gonna-
just love.
It's going to grow and just continue to grow.
And you know everyone has their standout favorite in the series because
100%.
there's so many choices to make. But it's
Yeah.
just good.
Yeah.
It's just a good game. Like
Yeah. You can't really ruin it.
it's such a simple mechanic.
They tried
They've
with Sun
tried.
and Moon, but
They tried, yeah.
They've tried. But it's still going strong.
It's just like a basic concept
It's a
to do.
simple
yeah.
mechanic. You don't need to change it. You catch animals. You use the animals to fight. Shut
You
up,
get
Peter.
You get stronger animals,
and then you
become the best
yeah, you
animal.
become
You
the
make
best.
friends, you become the very best like no one ever was. It's
Yeah.
good times.
So I just think it's simple, like,
Yeah.
and it's something, you know, as a young kid, it was brilliant. You get a
Yeah.
portable console, you take it with you.
Yeah,
Your parents don't have to listen to you complain for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I've got
everyone has their favourite Pokemon, everyone has their favourite game,
Of course.
favourite whatever. And it's just...
It's just reliable.
yeah,
it's
and
there.
It was one of those things, like, when I talk about this list, it's like, where does Pokemon fit on the list? Like, when I talk about my favorite games of all time, like Platinum's on there.
Yeah,
I
oh,
adore
yeah.
Platinum
100%.
so much. It's got my favorite starter of all time in Chimchar and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Which could be another list we come back to.
So
Oh, we can get to
I'm
that.
gonna add on to the because
Yeah,
my
yeah.
Pokemon was at 2
You
as
know what?
well.
I might just sub in and mine swap them so we can just talk about Pokemon for this one.
Fair enough.
For
Like
like 15.
another thing with Pokemon, like I'm not sure how versed you guys are on this, but the fan-made games, the hacked games, the ROMs that the people have made, some of them are incredible. Like one of them, you have one where everyone's affected by a zombie virus, so you have to kill like zombies and severed heads and things like that, all the way to some guy has literally made Ash's Journey and like done Orange Islands and all that
I
stuff.
have
And
actually
it's
seen
like-
that one. It's incredible.
There are some absolutely stunning games,
Mm.
and it's something with unlimited potential.
And like different ways you can play them as well, like Nuzlocke challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like if you're like, oh, it's too difficult, Nuzlocke challenges
Guy just
will
did
fuck you up.
Platinum with not taking any damage.
I did say that.
That is
It's
insane.
Like that you would go through that effort.
Mm-mm. There's people who've done like Nidoran runs, like where you just have one Nidoran
Bidoof.
the entire journey.
Only Bidoof.
Yeah.
That's another one. It's one of those things where I'd love an
Crazy.
open world, like
Yes.
full legitimate open world Pokemon game. But I wouldn't complain if we never got it. Like
Yeah,
it's
that's
good. Just
it's
keep
something
it
I
going.
want, but it's not a.
Platinum remix. Diamond Pearl remix.
Probably this year.
I hope so.
We'll find out.
So I guess with Pokemon covered, what's the
Actually, I would add
Oh,
more to
okay.
it as well. I think
Go for
there's
it.
more spin-offs that I love from it.
like Gale of
specifically-
Darkness,
Mhm.
XD,
Yeah.
Stadium, Snap?
Coliseum. But for me, Mystery Dungeon as well
Oh,
is such
yes!
a saving grace for me too.
Yes.
I'm not that big on Super Mystery Dungeon or the one
Gates
that
of
was on
Infinity.
3D. Yeah. But freaking
Red,
Explorers
Blue,
of Sky.
Time, Darkness, Sky.
Oh, the
with the
story
remake.
is so good in Explorers of Sky, dang it. And
And
the
like-
remakes are coming for Blue.
Yes.
My god. And like you'd think it would be more of a childlike approach, like, oh, I'm a Pokemon. And like some of the story elements are pretty like
Yeah.
childlike. You play a kid who's sent to a Pokemon big book. But like
Your mom doesn't love you anymore.
Yeah.
So she'll leave.
but it's brought you see so much more character in these Pokemon that you've already liked from the main games.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and you get
I've never been scared of Wigglytuff until you see them as a guild master, and Wigglytuff is fucking terrifying sometimes.
oh yeah,
It's incredible.
yeah, no, like I completely get that.
And like, I was gonna say spoiler warning, but like these games came out like 2007, they're fine. Like Grovyle,
Yeah,
the entire Grovyle story. Oh my god.
And then there's like that bit at the end of Blue.
Yeah.
Surely everyone's played Blue by now.
Mhm.
And it's
If
like
not, it comes out tomorrow.
you
as
beat
well.
Rayquaza,
Mhm.
and then he's like, okay, I'll turn you back into a Pokemon. And you go back into the Pokemon, and your partner's just walking off really sad, like,
Yeah.
and everyone's walking off really sad. And then you start tearing up, and then you come
And then you
back,
come back
then you
down.
come back as a Pokemon, and
It's
everyone's
so
really
good.
happy, and you get to keep doing what you do.
Like the ending of Persona.
Yeah, but like this is like more so.
Yeah. But also, oh man, the freaking the post game's really good in
Oh,
Mystery Dungeon
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
You
they've got
actually
great
get
post games.
content. There's one that freaking scared the crap out of me as a kid where Palkia turns up in
Yeah.
your house and literally the quote's pretty much like, you shouldn't exist. I'm gonna fix this. And is out to kill you.
Classic
And it's
Palkia.
terrifying when you're a
Yeah.
Chimchar trying to fight a Palkia because you can't evolve yet.
Yeah.
But oh man. The spin-offs are so good. Like,
But-
they could be standalone games and be
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion to
Mhm.
some. Charizard fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Charizard isn't.
He sucks.
I prefer Blastoise, but I like Charizard.
Yes.
Oh,
I
I'm a
hate
bit
Charizard.
sick of Charizard.
Watching the anime made me love Charizard.
No, screw him!
Yeah,
Do
he
the
did
battle!
nothing. He did nothing.
He actually gets character progression. What other Pokemon get to say that as much?
Squirtle had glasses!
He's got a point there.
Bulbasaur cared! Jigglypuff had the most character!
I mean, character progression, not just character.
Victory Bell
Yeah.
starts off as like a Weeping Bell, being all like Weeping Bell, and then he turns into a Victory Bell and tries to eat James.
He had to
And
let...
it's out of love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Butterfly...
Butterfree. Oh, no.
Butterfree was the horny motherfucker
Hell
that
yeah.
just wanted sex.
And then
And
Ash,
Ash like, get it,
Ash
man!
agreed. He was like, off you go.
And he had a shiny Noctowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pokemon, solid.
Pokemon.
Sorry.
Plus, I think the anime helps make us love it too.
It's just so much like different like versatility that game's for.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So
Like you have
yeah.
the anime, you have manga, you have
Yeah, there's so much that you can like go off with it. It's incredible.
So
The
that's-
soundtracks as well, damn.
Yeah, yeah.
The trumpets in freaking Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Oh man, so good.
So that's
Smell
3
you later.
Japanese games that I've had.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
So what's the number one hated?
Fuck Fortnite.
There it is. I thought
Is that
was
your
coming.
number one?
Fuck
I
Fortnite.
thought that was coming.
Okay.
Fuck Fortnite.
So the
I like a
one-
lot of games.
So the one that I thought you were gonna have wasn't on there.
What was it?
Oh, I'll tell you because it's mine.
I probably will at that point. Oh yeah, fuck that. But fuck Fortnite. Like, it is such a hit. Like, I do like battle royale games
Fair enough. Like,
when that's what they're meant to be.
Yeah.
When PUBG and Apex came out, that's what those games were.
this is just a money grab.
Fortnite
It is,
was
yeah.
a heap of shit builder, like round-based survival game that failed.
Yes.
And then they went, that game looks good. We should do that game.
Everything they've made, they have stolen.
But they're successful because it was free.
True.
So any
Yeah.
12-year-old boy with a console didn't have to ask mom's credit card. They didn't need to
They
have
still do, though.
passwords. They
And then
do,
they
yeah.
get all the skins and,
And then
everything,
then that's what they use the money for. But then they download, so it got big, and it's on
Yeah.
every console. But it is absolute trash. None of their ideas are original.
Yeah, I get that.
So Apex did this thing. So I'm not like a huge Apex fanboy, but I respect what they did first. The idea of rezzing your teammates once they're fully dead. Fortnite stole that. Then they did this thing where like, oh, we're gonna add in vaults. So you get a vault key, you come and open the vault, and you guarantee good loot.
Fortnite did
Fortnite
that.
in the latest update just did that.
Yeah.
Everything they've done is being stolen. All their
Perk
skins,
dance.
yeah, all their skins, all their emotes are stolen off.
Jack Storm's Deep Dab, they stole that too. Didn't give him money for
And
that.
then it goes down to the game is horseshit. The fans
The
are
fan base
worse.
is
Yeah.
awful.
No.
Like I have Twitch streamers I enjoy to watch, people like Pokimane and all these other people, and they just get shit on the whole time by their fan base because you shouldn't have done that, you should have done this because I'm a 12-year-old boy, I know the world, all this sort of stuff.
Then you have people like Ninja who are like, hey, if you enjoy games but you're not competitive, fuck you.
Well, he
You
literally
should be
had
a
a
sore
thing.
loser.
He literally had a thing, and he did a thing where it was like, "Don't bullying, like bullying's bad," and then people just kept
Yeah.
sending him clips of being like, "Fuck you, kid, you fucking piece of shit."
Uh.
Like it's just not a good community, and like.
No.
It's kind of becoming a universal thing. You either love or you hate. I played
it.
it when it first came out because I was like, I'll give it a go. I played 3 games. I won. I went, if I can win this easily, this game's shit.
Yeah.
I'm not good at battle royale games. Like Apex, I get there because I
Same.
can do first person shooting, and that makes sense to me. I'm not good at PUBG. I'm not good at Tetris 99 or whatever it is. Bloody,
Highest I've gotten is 12.
I think I got like 50 ones. And I'm good at Tetris, so it is just a piece of
Yep.
fucking trash.
Yep.
I'm sorry if you play it, but earn some money and buy a real game.
Buy Madden.
Buy Madden. But like even like the Apex is free.
Yeah.
But theirs is different to a degree. Like theirs is free to counter Fortnite being free. It was set up to be the Fortnite killer,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
which it wasn't going to because
Fortnite's
they had
Fortnite.
their thing and they want that. And it's the fact that people, and sadly we have to hold it in high regards as to a successful game.
It is
Unfortunately.
very successful.
You go on
It is.
Twitch and it's still up there, and that shits me to
Yes.
tears. Like the day that it was like not even in the top 10 was my favorite day on Twitch, when it was like League of Legends, Apex, like GTA roleplay, all this
Warcraft
sort
Classic
of
had
stuff.
come out at that point.
Yeah, and so Fortnite was dying, and it just comes back because they take all these ideas from games that kids have to pay for, and they put it in. They've built in Star Wars characters, and they're now going through and putting in like Deadpool and stuff into it because kids look at that and go, "I know that, I want
Yeah.
to be that." And it's something that I do all the time when when students come in, they go, "Do you play video games? Yeah. Do you play Fortnite?" And I have to stop it and be like, "No,
No.
because I'm not wasting my time on that."
Fair enough.
It
Okay.
is-
It's
It's
YouTube Rewind level cringe.
Yes. But worse.
Terrible, 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 terrible.
Yeah.
That was
Hate
part
it.
of the reason why it was on mine.
Only that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Majority
Only
of it,
that.
yeah. Alright, Ash, you'll go.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
the entire franchise. For me, I like the world behind it. I like the characters when they're not voice acting.
It's just not.
The
Yeah.
music,
I
I'll
get
give
what
it.
you're gonna say. Sorry.
The music is
Yes,
actually
yeah.
really good. But like I think to me the gameplay it's so inconsistent in sometimes it's really good but they take some JRPG elements that are just stupid with the quest giving and you can't find quests that you need to hand in, you can't find characters anywhere because the worlds are too fucking big and there's shit like I like the animal designs are great, like the things you have to fight are great, but there's just shit everywhere and you'll be wandering around, you'll be like, oh man, I can't wait to go fight these level 11 things and grind them for 2 hours to get these tusks of these fucking boars. And then you get killed by a dragon who's wandering around the map for no fucking reason. But the thing that gets me the most is, have you guys heard much of the voice acting in these games?
I played the second one, which was worse than the main one.
The main one, I did actually enjoy
They were
Xenoblade Chronicles, the first
Trying
one.
to do
but
like British
it's
accents.
like off
and I was
British, but bad. I think I don't know if it's because the company is like in a location where like the
Well,
voice
it's in a
actors.
location.
It's just
Yeah,
another
no,
fucking
but like
dimension.
get like a real like voice actors in if you want to do an accent, or just don't do an accent.
And
Yeah.
then the voice lines, like I watched, there's a YouTuber beat 'em ups who like literally showed a clip of when you're fighting some of these like human enemies and you fight them, and one of the taglines on the enemy says is, "Oh, I'll get you next time," and says it 50, maybe 59 times in a 2-minute fight, and it's the only voice line these fucking characters have, and they're yelling them. It's so annoying. I think,
I get that.
yeah, it's a JRPG game that I think if they made some tweaks, I would like it a lot more, but because it's just not that playable for me in that sense. I think the newer DLC that they put out for number 2 fixed a lot of the things that made number 2 really bad. But for me, it's just, yeah, it's a game that had a lot more potential, but for me personally, I just didn't live up
Shock's
to it
pretty
as
good at
much.
Smash though.
He is. Shulk's pretty great.
Fair enough.
I will probably play 1 when it comes out in Switch, just to see if I enjoy it as much, but, yeah.
Okay.
Countdown, because I want to see if I get this right.
100% will.
3, 2, 1. Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
because of you. Yes.
I thought so.
Oh, I completely forgot about it. That's how much I hate it.
Jeez.
I hate it. I can't get into it. Don't want to get into it. The whole thing is just like Disney characters. Go take your Disney
Put me-
characters back to Disney.
Put Mickey Mouse in Smash.
Or Goofy.
It's just
That
an
way you can just have
overhyped-
Banjo and Mickey Mouse in this. It's like,
Oh, it's just like an overhyped,
oh, yeah.
overproduced, garbage fan base, garbage game with a bunch of garbage people playing it because Disney is Disney, and it's really not that good.
Nah.
Sorry if you like it.
This guy has a key thing with like a circular blade with 2 little key things on the end. It's like, how is that an effective weapon? That's like me going, "Hey Pat,
Have you stabbed yourself with your own keys?
he's dead."
You'll
You
get
know, but
cut a
it's like,
little.
it's not the end. It's like the little bits that come down.
Can I stress that in Persona 4, I have a katana that's bigger than me.
Still more
So
useful
that would
weapon.
kill Sora in one swipe.
Oh, yeah.
It's just didn't
Yeah, no.
Disney
I like the
fan
Keyblade.
surface game that they put off for so long and tried to get as many people in as humanely possible to release a third piece of garbage that was overhyped, overproduced, and people absolutely hated it because it did not live up to their expectations.
Yeah.
Hated it's a strong word for the people who wanted to play it.
No.
It definitely wasn't as good as it
Objection.
should have been. For how long they took to make it, it definitely didn't live up to the hype or expectations at all. But yeah,
Nah, I hate it.
cool.
It's like
Agree, I
my
agree.
my strongest hated
Yeah,
game.
as soon
And
as
as soon as you let's put up this idea of like top 5, best and top 3 you can, I was like, Kingdom Hearts is my number 1. I hate it.
as soon as you said, not that was what I thought you were gonna say, and then as soon as you said JRPG, I was like, oh, Kingdom Hearts.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I repress it from memory.
Yeah.
I
And there was
yeah.
this group at school, and everything was Kingdom Hearts. Oh, have you played Kingdom Hearts 2.8? No, I've played Kingdom Hearts 2.6. I played Kingdom Hearts 2.7.3.
I understand where your hate's coming from now. They were annoying as
I
and it's
went
just-
outside.
And it's just like, it's not as good as what everyone says
No,
it is.
it isn't.
It's underwhelming, and
It was people that wanted to play Final Fantasy, but wanted them to look the characters to be dumber.
yes, it's like, I like Final Fantasy. I like Final Fantasy. I like all those sort of games. But Kingdom Hearts is just, ooh, look at me on Disney.
It's
And
very
like
much.
that's like 90% of its appeal.
Yep. And now if they make another one, we'll get like Star Wars characters in there, and Kylo Ren and Rey will make out. Spoiler! Haven't watched it, only know that. They're cousins. It's weird.
Not the first time they've done that in series.
No, but the other one,
Magic.
at least we knew that after.
Yeah, that's true.
This
Yeah.
one they knew,
yeah.
and apparently it's not romantic. They've kind of said that now. Pretty much was. I don't go up to my cousin and go, "Come here."
Yeah, pretty much. That's weird.
Yeah.
Disney stop. Like,
I
chill.
was about to say
Chill.
sorry, I'm not Italian. Then I realised you're like 1% Italian.
How dare you?
No, but
Hey,
Kingdom Hearts is utter trash, and that is the last I'll say of that.
Let's
It's polarizing.
let's
We'll
pick
put it that way.
pick it up a bit.
Yeah.
It'd be so funny if Ash says Kingdom Hearts number 1.
We'll have to leave now.
Okay,
my
top
number
game,
one,
top
my number
game.
one, and this was my hardest one. Like all of them were there, and there was some. And like I said, I couldn't put Red Dead here because it was too small.
Yep.
but I could put something.
What is it?
GTA.
Thought so.
Okay.
GTA, because it is cowboys, but cars.
Fair enough.
What?
I wouldn't say that's my favorite series. But like, I like it.
I've grown up
Can
playing.
we get?
Like,
Can we make that
Cowboys
a meme?
but cows.
Cowboys but cows. Cows. Fuck.
no, I grew up. I played GTA
Fair
when
enough.
I was way too
Fair
young. But like, got a PS2 back in the day where you could buy a console and it came with 8 games.
Yeah.
8 games. I got.
Missed that.
I got this shooting game called Black, GTA San Andreas, GTA Vice City.
Good.
I think some sort of crash game and some sort of racing game.
Yeah. Twin
And-
Sanity.
Maybe
Probably.
some of
Rapid
that.
Yeah.
Cortex.
And so I'm sitting there playing, you know, my everyday kiddie games,
Yeah, yeah.
and I look at this very colourful thing that says GTA San Andreas. I was like, I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
Pop it in. Cool, kind of, you know, in
Yeah.
the time that sort of music hits, that, you know, young white boy Pat's like, oh yeah.
I can
Yeah.
see that happening.
Not much
And,
changed.
and I'm like, cool, this is awesome. And then the scene starts. Immediately note Samuel Jackson's in it, and I was like, that's dope. And it just runs really well. And even to this day,
Yeah,
like
yeah, it holds up.
it can hold up. Like the story for San Andreas is great. Then you go to Vice City, and
Good.
it's, you know, good
Yeah.
old like 80s like era. You got like Michael
Yeah.
Jackson playing before bad shit happened. Like, all this good music. Every character in those games is interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Every mission has its purpose. Every mission makes sense. Your characters are not good people.
No.
Especially in Vice City, that character's a piece of shit. But like that one was good because it felt like, you know, mobsterish. You had like the
Yeah,
Italian
yeah.
family. You had GTA San Andreas, which was like the hood, dealing with all that sort of stuff. Like betrayal was one of the main things
Yeah,
in
yeah.
that one. And like things changing.
Then you have
You then
four
go-
where you're a Russian dude.
Well, you have your stories. Then you have Vice
Yeah.
City stories and all that sort of Liberty City stories, GTA
Yeah.
3. All of them are good. Then you go to 4 where you're
Russian dude. and
Russian
then-
dude coming
and then
over.
5 and
over-
everyone
Liberty
loves 5.
City guys are in 5 as well.
Yeah.
Roman is not a bad character. He may want to go bowling,
He just wants to go
but
bowling
at
with
the
his
very
cousin.
end, if you do not pick the right option, because there's 2 endings in 4.
Yep.
Well, 2. Sorry, your wife can die,
Yep.
or Roman can die. You don't marry the woman. You let Roman get married. He dies then, but he's the better character. Roman is great. So shut up. Stop being memey. He's a great character.
Fair enough.
4 was good. Does not hold up well in a driving
No.
mechanic.
Yeah.
Driving mechanic and 4 was hog shit.
Yes. Like,
I've used that phrase a lot today.
Yeah,
Never used it
hog
before. And then you have GTA 5,
yeah. Like I completely understand.
which
They're
is
all incredible games.
yes.
Not my top 5, but like
It's
incredible
up there.
games.
It's something that I've played
Incredible
throughout, and like, you know, it's just a game. And once again, with Red Dead and Bully as well,
Bully's
all
big,
really really good.
yeah.
Rockstar is
Just Rockstar games.
Rockstar
They
is
found it,
is
yeah.
dependable.
Yes.
They even had like a racing game for a while, which wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Did they do Skate, or was that not even?
No, that was not
Not Naughty Dog.
them. Skate's also a good game though. But like GTA 5 is just a cherry on top. It's all good games.
Yeah.
But then you get that, and I can't imagine what GTA 6 is going to
Oh
be.
man.
Huge.
We've heard so
Huge.
many rumors that
And
it's
it's
going to be
been
a
7
big
years
game that we're
since
going to.
5's come out.
There's a chance that we could have every location we've seen so far. You could have your Los Santos. You could have your Liberty Cities. You could have
huge.
whatever the one that GTA. It's based off Miami. I can't remember what it's called, but the one in Vice City. Like the idea of actually
Yeah.
going to all those locations. There's also rumors that people, you know, we've been calling for a San Andreas remake, but they re-released it, so there's a chance. Rumors that we might get a Vice City remake,
Yeah.
which is just as good.
Yeah.
You know, that classic mobster Italian family, like, literally the last battle was in like a mansion that's
Yeah.
based off the Scarface scene,
Yeah.
all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
I got
It
it.
is
Awesome.
such a good series.
It is.
Very enjoyable. And then, you know, GTA Online is so much fun.
They're just still
Such a
producing everything
stupid-
for it. It's so
Stupid
good.
little like add-on that went
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah.
And like once I realized I probably shouldn't put Red Dead Redemption, GTA popped up, and I was like, I've had just as much fun.
Oh, 100%.
Um,
100%.
It had to, like, it was going to be in my top 5, and I think it is my favorite overall series of all time, because I've never played that game and had like, this game is not fun,
Yeah, I got it.
because
I get it.
you make your own fun in it by being a fucking psycho.
Exactly.
It's half a GTA, or the opposite, where you become a law-abiding citizen for some reason. I'm going to stop at red lights and drive
Yeah.
safely.
I get it. There's just
Interesting-
much-
Run over an old
Interesting
man.
plug for another channel as well, and I think you two should watch this. This channel that I watch, Achievement Hunter, has just done a crossover AEW people. They did a GTA video with Hangman Page,
Oh my god.
and it is very funny, where he runs over a woman and goes, "Oh no, I've killed her." He feels so bad about it, because he's never played the game
Yeah,
before.
sips beer.
And they gave him a rocket bike, and they're like, "We should probably take the rocket bike." And he's like, "You're not taking my rocket bike."
God damn.
He was
Fair enough.
very funny, man.
That's
I can
awesome.
imagine.
But it is just a
JT,
really,
yeah,
really
yeah,
good
very
series.
Alright, Ash.
I originally said I had Pokemon as my number one, but I switched it just for the conversation because we could have
Yeah.
number one. Warcraft.
Fair enough.
So like,
fair
like
enough.
Warcraft,
I don't-
and
yeah.
including World of Warcraft in that, obviously.
Wow.
Yeah.
But for me, I think
yeah.
there's so much like story definitely drives me a lot to a lot of franchises. Like
Plus, like,
the
you-
amount of lore that's in the Warcraft series is fucking insane.
Well, yeah. Plus, like your family's also pretty big on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, yeah.
Like they started playing when I was
it.
like in high school, and they've been like proper ratings since. And my sister's in one of the top 10 raid guilds like in the world. It's insane. Not in
Yeah.
all of Australia, but yeah. Just it's no like
I get it.
the
I
amount
get
of characters, the amount of story behind it, the amount of places you can go to, the amount of people you can meet and actually become friends with. Like my sister's engaged to her fiance who she met playing World of Warcraft, and I think
They don't
it's
get
got-
married in WoW. What's the point?
I never had. I think it's got this D&D sense that like people who wouldn't even consider themselves nerds or gamers, like the amount of celebrities that play World of Warcraft as well,
It's huge.
it's blown up so much. And then with the introduction of WoW Classic again, it just elevated that so much
It
as
is
well.
easily the game that I look at and go, I wish I was a gamer when the peak of that game happened.
Yes.
Like I would have loved to have been there to
Yeah.
live the moments. Like with I remember looking at the story of when they built the raid boss that would like infect people, and then a glitch happened where it spread throughout the world. I would have loved to have been around for those
Yes.
moments where those big things happened.
That was what during that.
Yeah,
I was like probably 13.
because
around
we
that
we
point.
played recently, like when
Yeah, I played
Classic
a
came
little
out,
bit
and
of it.
I enjoyed it. But it was one of those things where I was like,
I feel like
"Fuck, if I played this when it was in its
yeah.
peak."
I when we were playing, I was like, I feel like I'm here about 10, 15 years too late.
A
Yeah.
little bit, yeah. There's so much more. That's
I have
happened
like
since then.
playing where like these little dudes and this fucking person riding like a giant thing walks past.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, fuck you.
Yeah,
I'm just
Pretty
like
much.
me in my little like boots and my green cape.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a dog.
pretty much.
It's a good game. Like I understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
And I played it around Wrath of the Lich King was just coming out, and it was during the time when those swarms were happening. And I remember I played like the Warcraft games with my sister when I was younger, and I remember Wrath of the Lich King, like I remember playing the Frozen Throne expansion pack for Warcraft 3, and you see the like how Arthas becomes the Lich King through those stories. And I was like, oh fucking now he's the big baddie that millions of people are trying to kill right now. And those bosses in the final Ice Crown Citadel, the final like dungeon there, was actually like proper difficult. People would take literal weeks just to finish and wipe out those like raids. And back in the times when you have 40-man raids to take care of, like, oh man, there's so much.
That would have been amazing. That's
Mhm.
like one thing. Because the only like equivalent I did to that was Destiny when I did Destiny raids, and there are only 6 people.
Mhm.
But I had so much fun with them. And then yeah, like talk about that, the idea of doing a 40
In
man
vanilla
raid.
WoW,
Insane.
going through Blackwing Descent and all those, like, it actually had that awesome fantasy feel of you're teaming up with 39 people who have one goal. You got your different classes, you got different like strategies and everything to take out this one big boss who's been like the defining boss for this entire expansion. It's just
big
so
boy.
well built. They were big boys.
Yeah, I've seen some of the photos you sent.
Oh,
Big boys.
There's some big boys.
Oh
The-
yeah.
The spiders are fucking. Oh boy.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
don't watch Raw.
I saw.
Dumb
What a
boy.
dumb segment. Anyway. But yeah, I think just for the longevity, is that how you say it? I found
Yeah.
that word. Yeah, that's a word. And like, we thought it would die down, and like the current expansion, granted, has been pretty underwhelming for a lot of people. But with the next expansion that's coming, which is pretty much you're not going to the underworld, but you're going to like the world of the dead to like bring
Oh,
people
okay.
back to take on the next boss, and which means everyone that you've dealt with like in all the lore, but like behind all the characters that you've dealt with in the past are coming back now as well. So
Interesting.
it's gonna be insane
Big.
when it comes out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that was my number 2/1.
Fair enough. I understand. Okay, number 1. Who wants to have a guess at this one?
I'll give you
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z.
No.
I haven't had good games really.
Yeah, they've had a
Disney
couple. They've
said.
had a couple of good games, but they've been.
Is this the one non-Japanese one in it?
No, it's Japanese.
Okay.
The non-Japanese one was Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, Persona.
No.
Okay.
No idea.
Resident Evil.
Ah,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
okay, there we
yeah.
go.
In Japan, it was Biohazard.
Mhm.
What's more to say? This is like the pinnacle of survivor horror.
Mm.
Survival horror, and like,
Should probably finish the one that I was streaming.
yeah, you should finish 2. You need to
Still
finish 2.
haven't.
Like I've played 0. I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Revelations, Revelations 2, Code Veronica. It's just so much. It's such a simple game, and they do it right.
Mm.
And, like,
Yeah.
What I want to do is I want to get us all 3 of us to play through all the Resident Evils. They're also vastly different too.
Yeah.
So you have like your, like you have your original Resident Evil, which is probably one of the most iconic, where you're in the Wesker Mansion. Not Wesker
Yeah, it
Mansion,
became
you're in the mansion.
what was it, Jill sandwich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close. She almost became a Jill sandwich. That was only the original. They updated that in the remake.
Oh.
But it's still one of the best lines.
Yeah, it's so poorly delivered.
And
as
like
well.
the voice lines in the original are terrible, but it's so good.
Yeah.
And then you get to 4, which is considered the most iconic in the series.
Was that
'cause-
Chainsaw Man? Like this Chainsaw dude, you're Leon, you're running around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're in the village forest thing in
Yeah.
France or something, and you got to save the president's daughter. And every 30
Ashley?
and every 30 seconds when you're not watching it, you can just hear Leon,
Oh,
Yeah.
and you got to frantically search for her before take her through a door and lose the game.
damn.
So you have your original 1, 2, 3, which is the fixed cameras. They didn't do this in the remake.
Yeah.
For 2, it's fixed cameras. So you have a camera in the corner, and you as you move.
With the big boy spiders on the walls and floors.
Yeah, yes.
God
yes.
damn it, play on.
So they'll be fixed cameras. So you'll get a shot, you run past it, so it goes to a different camera, and you run past. That's very iconic to 4, 5, 6, which were third person over the shoulder,
Yeah.
and you go to 7, which was first person shooter. And this topic is massively debated between what's the best. Is it fixed camera? Is it first person? Third person? There's really no
I think they all
defining
worked for what they
evidence.
needed.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6 were less about the horror, more about the action. Well, 4 was still more about the horror, but 5 and 6 were about the action.
Yeah. A
7
didn't like it.
yeah. 7 is massively about the horror. You don't know
Oh,
where
yeah.
things are coming. You
That
don't know
first
when
moment where
it's-
you're walking down the hall and he busts through the wall.
Yeah.
It's like,
You kind of need first person for that.
yeah.
And
It
even
works.
even with the fixed cameras, in the original, they work
Yeah.
because you could be walking down a corridor, camera switch. There's 3 zombies there waiting
Yeah.
for you.
And I think with the remake of 2,
3.
Is it three?
There's 3 coming out.
Well, the
Yeah.
one I've
Okay,
been
you
playing.
got 2.
The scariest thing about that is with X.
Yes.
Mr. X, the fact of just
He busts through.
you're walking through, and because you're in that third person, you see how big he is.
Yes.
Compared to you.
Yeah, it's a big
And
bloke.
you'll be like, okay, I'm just walking up this thing. You don't see through the wall, but you just see the doof, doof,
Yeah.
and the door bursts open.
Yeah.
You're like, oh boy,
If
oh boy,
you
oh
think
boy.
he's terrifying, wait until 3 comes out in the months and you have
I
to
have
deal
seen-
with Nemesis.
Yeah, I have seen.
Nemesis is one of the most terrifying
Yeah.
bosses in that game. It beats Snake Jack in 7. I don't know if either of you guys have seen Snake Jack
I'm
in
lost
7.
in that reference.
When we play 7, you'll see him. But yeah, he has a rocket launcher, for God's sake.
Jeez.
He will jump off a building and be jump through a window, hey, rocket launcher, bam. And you have to dodge it.
Yeah.
You did.
No, yeah, definitely a
That's-
franchise.
Yeah, it's one
And it's good. It's good that it's a franchise that's updated.
Yeah.
It hasn't just no, we're staying with this and this, how we're
Yeah.
gonna do it.
Well, that's essentially sort of what they did. They were starting to go away from their original path, and then they're hold on, people don't like this. We need to go back to what people
Yeah.
liked. Updated it, made it first person, which was a bit different, which is good, but kept that atmospheric sort of horror, which made Resident Evil great.
I think that's another thing, going back to GTA that they've done in the racing games is you can do first person, third
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Which is weird playing GTA first person. I
It
couldn't
is.
do it. I couldn't do it in Red Dead because riding the horse was just so
Yeah.
much
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
But you go first person in GTA Online and just whack someone with something.
Yeah.
It's always I laugh every time.
and even in, what was it? What am I thinking here? I don't remember. But I'll go on to another point. Even Resident Evil 7 was released in VR.
Yeah.
That's a huge
Oof.
defining
Gotta
point.
cater for all of it.
Yeah. I've tried playing it. It's so much harder in VR because you have to look where you're shooting.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
it's so good.
I just remember the scariest moment. One of the scary moments, early ones in 7 is when your wife runs at you and starts hacking at your arm and.
Yeah, and she stabs you
I
through
did
the
see that
hand,
cutscene,
chops
yeah.
off.
Well, because
your
she kind of just
hand.
comes out of nowhere. You see a shadow in the distance, and the character's oh, it's you, and then she just
turns like that.
yeah, and just sprints at you screaming, and it's that immediate thing of oh, okay, this is not my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
And then later in the game, you get backstory as to what happens.
Yeah,
which I think they did really well, and that part is
there's a whole
so
bits
creepy.
where you go into the video recording of other people doing their how they got out and stuff like that. It's
and
really
then you've got to go copy that.
yeah.
Because I think there's one part. It's just the camera guy who gets kidnapped. The other guys die
Yeah.
pretty early on. But there's this guy set up a birthday party for you essentially, and You got to do all this
It's an
stuff.
achievement to blow up all the pop all the balloons in that
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
Is
So
this
you-
the game with the family?
Yeah.
Is that one
Yeah.
Bio? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're all Bioshock, not Bioshock. They're
No.
all Biohazard.
Yeah.
But in Japan they were Biohazard. Here
Yeah.
they're Resident Evil.
I
Yeah.
was just this is Biohazard.
Yeah. So anyway, you go through it, and you get out of it with this guy, but it's slightly different for you. You can't do one certain action, which is like really small. If you do it, you die.
Shit.
So it's like,
There's a lot to it.
yeah, it's like such a big game with so many little points.
Yeah.
And I think even what was Project Resistance that came out a few months ago? Not the greatest thing, but they were using that to get feedback on 3, and if you pre-order 3, you get Resistance free.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Pretty good deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
so for me, Resident Evil is the top pinnacle of
Yeah.
all the games I've ever played,
I like it.
and that is probably well in excess of over 500 games.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, there we go.
There we
Yeah.
go.
We
done did it.
created some lists.
Yeah.
We bagged out Fortnite for a bit.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty fun.
That was pretty fun.
But that's gonna be probably our first episode of this podcast.
Yeah.
Once again, this is the in development stuff. Like we'll be changing it up, probably changing dynamics. What we talk about will
Yeah.
definitely be an ongoing
Definitely.
changing thing.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas of topics we could use or stuff like
Anything
that,
you want to hear us talking
yeah,
about? it's up to
feel
you.
free to drop it in comments. If you
Let us know your favorite franchises too.
Yeah,
and by that we
And
mean
ones you hate.
what you like. Don't just say we're wrong.
Yeah.
yeah. Say what you like and why. Don't
yeah.
say because you can't change what I like.
Yeah.
Or as well, without changing our opinions, if you do like something like Fortnite or Kingdom Hearts, tell us why you do like it. I want
Yeah.
to hear like other sides as well.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
fun.
not gonna let you do that. I'm probably gonna come say you're wrong.
Gee.
Which really good, like you're like yeah. But this is just something I want to work on because it's one easy for us to do.
Yeah.
It's just talking,
Yeah.
more fun. We get to kind of voice our opinion a lot more without just throwing it in the background of a video.
Yeah. You guys get to know more about us as opposed to just us, doing
Yeah.
that in random video games.
Yeah, and it's just something that we want to do, and we'll be adding like different variations. So we're talking like because we're like bit of a wrestling channel as well. We'll do a bit more wrestling podcast as well, but we'll specifically make that its own thing.
So if
That
you don't
way-
like wrestling,
Yeah,
you
the
don't
people that
have
just
to.
want to hear us talk about gaming or whatever, go for it. We already have some ideas kind of thrown around quickly,
Yeah.
which we'll definitely do. So like we're saying, we'll probably do stuff
Single
like
games.
single games. I want to do some stuff about consoles that I have played
Yep.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
We can open
So-
up to like TV shows, anime,
Yeah,
so now we all
absolutely.
watch a bit of anime too.
So please do join us, like, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get talking, get opinionated. Like that's the reason why we want to do this stuff.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
want like basically just to be like a conversation between the four of us.
Yeah.
Or
Which we
however
could
many-
eventually do at some point. We could turn this to live streaming.
Oh,
or do
yeah,
it
that'd be
online
big.
if
That'd
we
be
get people
big.
that want to actually be involved in the conversation.
Yeah.
But please, because this is probably one of our first. It is our first video filmed in 2020 that's going to come out. We've done some stuff.
Technically second.
We did some Siege. A little bit.
Technically second because we Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, we did Rumble.
True.
But
Yeah.
we also had Siege. We've done some Siege.
Mm.
But this will be one of our first big ones, and something we're going to be running with for
Quite a while.
2020.
Yeah.
2020
Yeah.
at this point.
Also, Jack dead.
Jack
Jack
is
dead.
dead. Yes, that is an official. Aloha. But yes, thank you so much for coming and joining us on this podcast. Ash's corpse, he's gone. Anything else we want to say? Oh yeah, buy toilet paper if you live in Australia.
Yep. But don't overstock. Don't be an idiot.
I mean, I don't care.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really
No.
dumb. It's the dumbest thing
It's
happening in
so
Australia right
dumb.
now.
Oh, well.
I did see a great meme, which is people wrapping themselves in toilet paper. It's like how Australians protect from coronavirus.
Fair enough.
Made me laugh. But please be a part of if you like what we're doing or
Join us.
interested in what we're going to do, subscribe, please.
Yeah. If you
Help
can-
us out.
If you
Push
can,
notifications. You'll be informed when you get new videos.
Share,
from
even
us.
if it's like you're on
Good.
Twitter and listen to these three people's dumb opinions and how they don't know anything about video games. That's sharing.
Yeah.
if you can make it through the 100 and something minutes we've gone through today.
Yeah,
Yep.
Thanks
it's
for
a
watching.
podcast. It's a podcast.
Yeah, it's
That's
gonna
true.
happen.
That's true.
And we'll learn how to wrap up videos better.
Very true. We need to do that so badly.
Cool. So thank you.
3, 2, 1. Aloha.
You
You what?